what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sabrae Show Live, where we control our own narratives and have the conversations that we need to have in order to empower our community. I'm Sabrae.
Jameel.
Sean.
I'm sorry. I'm not having to look at the wrong spot again. Remember last time?
Yeah.
I'll be looking at the wrong place.
It's okay. Right here. Or right there.
Yeah. I be making eye contact with the right. Okay, first.
Yeah.
The fucking
Welcome to the best show in the DMV. The best show in the DMV. And trust me, I've seen and heard other shows.
That on that.
Yeah. Yeah, radio included.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
What? How was y'all weekend?
Excellent.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
I think all of us went to the Broccoli City Fest. Well, not Sean because he came up, but it's all good.
That's a bad choice, though. He could have gone.
Yeah, he could have gone, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't go together.
Talking about a group outing and he sold his tickets, though. That's
you couldn't go together. The only way you was going to go with somebody else is if y'all went together, because there's no way you was finding them in there.
Yeah. Well,
we
I
got
went by
lucky
myself,
with
so.
Yeah.
The cell service was, I mean, the moment you walked in, you was done.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
did y'all like that location better than the St. E's location?
For this crowd,
I'll let them speak on that.
I did because it was we didn't get muddy.
Yeah,
it was all that concrete. That
exactly.
was the upside, is because at Gateway it's all that grass and stuff, and it rains every year for Broccoli City, so you already know it's going to rain at some point. And I told Jameel my Pumas are still not clean from last year. I'm just in a bag somewhere. I didn't clean all that mud off them joints, so it was nice to have, but that concrete was not good for my arches was it was on fire.
I'm feeling real old at the end of the day. This is the first time I went, so I can't really.
Second time. But I didn't stay for that whole show the last year that I went.
I feel like you didn't stay for any of the show last year. You just got low, yeah.
That's why you have to go later. This time I went late. I got there at like 6.
That's the perfect time to go.
Exactly, because at first we went there. We got there like 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that.
Something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You burnt out.
I was burnt out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I left.
Yeah,
I burnt out.
Interviewing people.
We got there like,
exactly.
3. We was walking in like a little after 3.
Yeah.
But that's because I needed to see her. So
yeah.
Her went on at like 3:15. So we was like right
Who
on time.
was her?
Her. You know?
Her.
Baby, can you focus?
Do that a little louder. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I was like, who was so special at the season?
Her. And then Daniel Caesar was right after her.
Me.
So
Who is me?
So her is the name of the artist.
Yes,
Right.
H.
I thought it was
E.
I seen
R.
it when she's standing in the shadow.
She
I
don't
thought
show
that
her
was
face.
the name of the album.
Why
She
you think
real
she don't
low
show her
key.
face though?
She didn't until recently. She really hasn't.
But even
why,
still,
though?
now when she performs, she always wear big
She
glasses.
wanted to focus on the music and
I
not
think,
really.
and I think that's
respect
dope
that.
as shit. I think it's because if you approach it like that, then it's never no pressure for her to be a face or a
Right.
body or anything like that.
So she
Her-
ugly.
Talents.
The-
No,
No,
she's
she's
not.
not
She's
ugly.
actually
Not
pretty.
ugly
She
at
can
all.
save a lot of money
talent
from
speaks for
a.
itself,
She can
though.
save a lot
That's the
on makeup artists.
Right.
And the talent just speaks for itself, because you gotta think all the emphasis is on the music. So when
That's
people was
right.
out there knowing all her songs and don't even really see her until recently when she was on one of them award shows,
Right.
kind of performing in between
Right.
sets. Like the music is so dope. You don't care what she looks like.
So it's no pressure. It's no pressure for her to slide into this. So I got to get shots or do this or do that.
And honestly, rap is really the only genre where people really just put their face on it, because niggas gotta have you gotta know it's me. Like a lot of popular rock bands, they don't be on the cover of their artwork.
The
So.
Gorilla, what
true.
was it? The Gorillas?
Yeah.
They had their whole career a cartoon video.
Right? Yeah.
They don't care.
But there was a lot of pros. I liked the lineup. The lineup was pretty good. They picked up some good, A-list artists. I think this is the first time they get those.
Who's the best performer?
Best one thus far.
Yeah, the lineup. The best performer, I don't know. I didn't see all of them.
Okay.
From what we saw, which was probably everything but Miguel and Migos.
Cardi had a pretty good show.
She did.
She had a good set.
This was her last show, by the way.
Cardi had a good set, but I ain't really a Cardi fan.
I can't say I'm necessarily I'm not.
But Cardi was funny
No, she was
because
entertaining.
what happened when she ready to get off the stage because she was tired.
Yeah, she
So the DJ like, y'all ready for Cardi? Yeah, she like, just play the song, nigga. Damn.
I'm just tired.
10% right now.
She real.
Said,
That's why
she is funny. Now,
She
yeah,
said she was on 10%. That shit was funny as hell.
But I really like Daniel Caesar's performance, as evident by the my grand post. But dude sounds just like the album, Joe. And I feel like
and her.
I'm like a halfway little A&R. So I heard about Daniel Caesar and her like last year. I think Get You dropped like real early last year. And I heard it, and I was like, damn, like, this song is dope.
It's some feel-good music. That
man.
their whole albums
music
be...
the past 2 years, it's been booming.
Oh, yeah, it really
man.
has.
Yeah.
Their whole albums are just like... It just all hit. Like, you could literally just let them things play from top to bottom. So when she did all
Man,
my
they was out
songs,
there dancing. We was soul tray lining, electric sliding. It was
they definitely
swag
did.
surfing. It's good to see our people not, in a safe space.
I didn't see nothing really pop off. Only negative thing I seen about the people is that some people just got way too drunk, way too turned, and was like passed out and all that. That was the only thing that. But I didn't see no fights. I didn't see no confrontation.
A girl fell out right next to me and Yatta, right?
Yeah,
Yatta tapped out before 3:30, dog. It was so sad.
Yeah, well, as soon as I was walking, it was a guy laying over.
She was safe though. She didn't like hit her head or nothing.
No,
she
we thought that
hit her head.
Yeah, she broke her fall a little bit because like her friends almost caught her, but she still hit the ground. Like, cause I thought she was just drunk and maybe missed her step the way she buckled. But then she hit that ground. We like, oh.
Her friend had a drink in her hand though, but her friend ain't dropped the drink. She tried to catch her with the drink.
Oh, that wasn't her friend. That was her associate.
They was trying to wake her up. They was trying to give her water. They was fanning her, trying to get her up, and then somebody just threw some water in her face, and that got her smooth up. She's like, hold on.
But this is the crazy part. Like, you know how you always say, what would you do? I've seen plenty of people pass out, but she literally, like, we had to step out the way, right? And I'm like, damn, I really don't know what to do in this situation. I'm looking around. There's no help. So we just like... looking around for help.
I think didn't Theo go find somebody? Or
Theo went and found a white man.
He thought it was one of the venue workers, but it was like a cameraman, and he couldn't do nothing for it either. He was like,
but he actually, I think he kind of waved somebody out. Here's the thing: any kind of white guy with a badge, it might have been a press badge, but we figured, hey, if he's waving for help, somebody might come a little quicker. So,
right.
But they did. They came and got her up, and I was like, damn, it's not even like it was still in her performance.
It was barely into it though,
and she was in the beginning. So this is like 4.
This is like 3.
No, it wasn't even. No, it was
like
literally
3 something.
It's not. It wasn't even 3:30 yet.
That's dangerous, Joe.
Yeah.
See, that's that pre-gaming.
They be pre-gaming too hard.
For
There were a couple of critiques that I had, though, about the festival, because this time I did stay a lot longer than I did the last time. But and one of them was the fact that, okay, they had 33,000 people. Why is there I only seen one line for ID checks.
I think it was
more?
2. One on each side, I think. But it was still...
That's 2 lines for 33,000
We didn't even drink because the line was so long. After we had waited in the food line for an hour, then...
They pat y'all down? They pat y'all down?
No, they didn't pat us. They wanded us and they searched your bag.
Oh, because I'm going to say, you can take a liquor, fuck a liquor line.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Flask?
Well, no,
some people did have flasks, but you got to finesse. You had to finesse. I don't know how they
the thing is, you didn't know if you were going to get pat down until you already got up there. So by then, you didn't already left all your stuff you would have brought in there in the car thinking that you're going to get pat down. All they did was
just
wine.
got to take it with you.
And they had only like 4 or 5 drink lines. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, the line, it took 2 hours just to get a drink in your ID band.
It's a lot of people. What they said the one before was like 3,000?
Was that 3,000?
So you go from
3,000 like 3,000 people to 30,000.
But you can't see. But you can't say, oh, you did. People like, oh, I didn't expect.
You sold the tickets. You know
that's what I'm saying. You know
how
many people going to be there. You gotta. I mean, I get it, but then again, it was like fuck being in that line for 2 hours. I missed Nipsey's whole set, and whoever was after him. I was in line for all Cardi's set.
Yeah, they don't care. They already got their money. You already there.
I mean,
we was in line for what part of Nipsey set? Really, we was in line for.
Yeah, better part of Nipsey set.
We were to get food, and I was really mad because that chicken did not have no seasoning on it, and I was very upset. Like niggas really just.
Can we talk about this for a second?
They had no hip hop chicken.
Listen,
it was nothing hip hop.
It was some niggas cooking it, but
for real,
it was not hip hop chicken.
No.
They didn't have any seasoning on this chicken.
Yeah, maybe they ran out.
No America's Best, no nothing.
It was not a single white person behind that counter. How do you have a counter?
Somebody should have it in their purse. Like,
somebody ran it out.
People.
Somebody ran out.
Where's the hot sauce? Something.
Yeah. Where's the Old Bay?
Some mambo.
We waited in line for an hour and a half.
It was
to get some unseasoned chicken.
For an hour for some unseasoned
naked chicken,
fried chicken.
Yeah. That lemonade
from our people. That's how we do our people. But
that lemonade definitely came from our people.
Somebody ran out of season.
Lemonade was
lemonade came from our people.
Lemonade was banging.
Because they remember the sugar, but they didn't remember the
they ran out of
pepper.
Fish, man.
They ran out of fish.
Probably for the best, because if the fish wasn't seasoned, that's when you really got to steal somebody.
How was the prices? How was the pricing outrageous? Because sometimes you go to festivals and you be like, $17 for a bottle of water.
Well, no, they had chicken and fries for like $12. So
bad.
For that, it was reasonable. But we got some pizza too, and that pizza was also like, It was, but again, the lemonade was slapping though.
Yeah, the drinks, they had the drinks on.
At least you guys were satisfied with the beverages.
Yeah, but we probably wasted about a cool $50 on
bad
seasoned,
food.
cold.
It's this nigga fault for picking all the food venues. He gonna pick some pizza, nigga. Pizza.
Because you probably think, how can you go wrong with pizza?
But
pizza
very
was
easily. Like
that's it. And I don't eat beef or anything like that, so I'm seeing barbecue ribs. I'm like, oh, pizza. There go pizza. That's quick.
I seen somebody with chicken tenders. I was like, let's go to that line, though.
Y'all, but I know you said y'all left before the Migos set, right?
Right.
Do you know that the audio went out with from the Migos set for like almost a whole song? And it was like I felt like they knew because they looked blown. Because I think they knew in their headset or whatever.
Right.
But you couldn't hear if you was you had only time you would hear is if you were like on the first line.
So their mics went out.
The speakers went out.
Oh, okay.
The speakers went out in the back, and that shit. People started booing. People started walking away. When it came back on, they went back. But that was, I don't know who got fired for that, but I know motherfuckers got fired for that.
Let's talk about how Lyft left us.
Man,
Lyft left us because we couldn't find them.
Wow.
Because it was a designated Lyft rideshare area.
Yeah.
We kept going in the wrong direction.
Try and get this money. Oh, they.
No, I was on the phone with the. I was on the phone with the dude. They had a designated Lyft pickup area, and we couldn't find him because the sign was saying one thing, and we going this way, and we don't see nobody. And then he like, nah, it's down the hill, but we talking about two different hills. My man hit that 5 minutes and rolled out.
That's
on
what blow me about Uber and Lyft. A lot of these people who do Uber Lyft, they're not from here.
Right.
Like they're not from
He
here.
couldn't
Like
explain where he was.
They just be gone.
where you around Eastgate? Oh, I know. All right, nigga, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He like, well, I'm supposed to take this
Right.
way. He like, nigga.
Maybe that's just like that in D.C. because in Maryland it'd be a lot of regular Americans.
DC is a confusing place.
But DC, like the transplants don't live in Maryland. They all live in DC.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
But all in all, it wasn't terrible. But I think
it was a
for
situation.
30,000 people, like it wasn't any smoke on the performances. It wasn't no pyro. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, it ain't that type of function. It ain't a concert. It's a festival.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, and that's the kind of feel you got. But when you bring those type of acts, you know what I'm saying? When you bring Nip out there, like you don't just want to see.
You're supposed to have a big ass W sign on the
There's
set.
supposed to be some real energy that come with
And
it.
Apollo on the set or some
So
shit
did
like
Cardi
that.
really spend what she said she spent on her set? Because it didn't look like it. But she said she was getting paid $70,000 for that performance, but said that her set joint was going.
That was at Coachella?
Oh, you know what that was at Coachella?
Yeah, because they had the big beams and
I'm
they was hanging off the beams.
because I'm about to say, did she make $300 for this? Because I'm like,
Nah.
that ain't look like 300 bands worth of set.
Nah, she said no. That was for Coachella.
I forgot she was at Coachella.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, but that did look like that set did look like it was worth a lot. Like she spent some bread on that because they had the beams where the strippers was like dancing off of, hanging off of, and everything looked
Though, for you to...
Well, she said she booked that late after she became who she is now.
But that's
like
what
her
I'm saying,
price went up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, for you to get paid $70 and spend $300 grand on your set, that's kind of like
It was an investment because she
paid to be there.
But no, because that's an investment, and a lot of people like think about it like this: you pay for it and you put on a great show. That means next year, the motherfucker, you know what you won't give it, and then it was recorded too. So if her performance was whack, we would have been like, "Dang, that Cardi performance was some shit."
Right.
You know, so
And
it
her
was
fan
worth
base
it.
probably went.
Yeah, she was forced to do it.
listeners.
She was forced to do it because you was a $70,000 act then, but now you might be a $250,000 act.
Exactly.
So you can't come out there with a $500,000 act. So you can't come out there with a $300,000 or $70,000 stage or, huh?
It's like that.
You said that might be what?
I said that might be a reach. It's like,
I mean,
but no.
yeah.
It makes sense. Though.
Listen, you hear how the crowd reacted. The crowd gave more. It was more crowd reaction on Cardi's set than any other artist. And I didn't see Migos.
But that's because they wouldn't let her come out. It was being dramatic too. The dude, it was so much crowd participation that we didn't want to be a part of. I'm like, I don't do this. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And he like, if y'all make some noise, he like, or what? Or what? Or what's gonna happen?
Did you see that video of her in that little golf cart? This was in D.C. where the joint almost flipped back.
Oh, she was right across the street then. That's where she was.
Yeah, so the golf cart she was in, it tilted back. Somebody stood on the back of the jump. And yeah, she almost fell. That could have cost her the baby. Because she didn't want to walk. I don't fucking know.
I mean, that's what they had in there. People was riding through in golf carts.
Yeah, so that happened. I would be scared as shit, you know.
This is her last show, so she probably like, that was the same.
Exactly.
Last show for her and the baby.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
Baby. Baby's probably rocking that day.
No, it was like, it was a scary thing to see because if she would have fell out, You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fucked up.
That's what you need security. Why is some random nigga jumping on the back of a golf cart?
That's what I'm saying. She had people in the four corners of it, but I guess they didn't expect a nigga to jump on and try to ride a jump. It was a thirsty ass nigga.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thirsties in that gym.
Yeah. But speaking of Coachella, we spoke of Coachella. We seen Emily B and Fab at Coachella last week. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? And I just wanted to ask, what was it? It was 2 weeks ago? I don't fucking know. It was 2 weeks ago, maybe.
I mean, it's a 2-weekend festival, so you're
right,
correct.
so maybe, whatever. So
it must have been the second weekend.
yeah, it must have been the second
Last
weekend, so last week. So the question I want to ask is, should a person go back, like under what circumstances should a person go back to someone that physically abused him? Allegedly, you know, if he actually put hands on her, which there's no proof of, but... you know, whatever.
Battered women syndrome is a real thing. Like, it's a real thing, and I don't think people give it enough validity. You know, a lot of people just feel like, well, wow, no, wow. It's very easy to speculate on something from the outside looking in.
Absolutely.
But you have no idea what type of toll this type of thing has taken on her self-esteem, how she view herself, how she view the situation, how she might feel like she really genuinely needs to be there, or he need her, or she can't leave. Like, we don't know. So, you know, but for her to stick around is very classic of a woman who's been battered. You know, realistically, like I said, I can't say what definitively did or didn't happen because I haven't seen things. I'm not one of people who are like, oh, I need all the proof. If she said he did it, then hey, look, roll with it, whatever.
I don't think she did say anything, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she didn't say nothing.
She said...
They said she didn't say nothing.
Didn't they say she alleged that he knocked her teeth out?
That's what the police report said.
Right.
They didn't say she said it, but a police report, I can say you hit me.
Right.
That's in the police report. I can say,
hey,
Yatta, you go down to the station, you write the charges.
Right,
up.
but don't that mean that it had to come from her? I mean, she said it.
I mean,
Well, if it's in the police report, that means she said
somebody
it.
reported, because somebody else could have said.
It's just so hard to make, like, to view it without knowing all the specifics.
It is.
Especially
and you'll never know. That's the thing.
I've had a false report filed on me before.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for somebody.
Did that shit. It's like, nah.
It's very easy for somebody to just go in the courtroom and type whatever, pay the filing fee, and boom, you got a case open with your name on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So being somebody who has stuff on the records that are lies simply because somebody was allowed to go write it. When stories like this happen, it's like I never kind of reach to one side because I'm like, I don't really know what happened. The story that could be coming out could be the police side.
Yeah.
But
You know what I'm saying?
and it's tricky for men because you don't want to make it seem like you're empathizing for niggas that beat up women because that's definitely not fucking cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, men lie, women lie. I know that sounds cliche, but like you said, you done had false reports. I've had false. You done helped me out in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it doesn't take that much because I'm sure we have all, your fiance a police officer. Those domestic disputes, like if a woman say something, they're coming out there. It's no questions asked. So it's like
they can come out there. You the one leaking. You're still going to jail.
Yeah.
But still, in general, though, say like, and about that case specifically, I'm not going to speak on what did or didn't happen.
Right.
But in general, is there any factors that a woman or a man should go back to a person who abused them?
That's up to you because I mean, to me, it's your definition of abuse. There's mental abuse, verbal abuse, which is part of, I guess, mental abuse, physical abuse. Who am I to say? I don't know what, goes on because, like, something you may be able to deal with, it might be the norm. Like, I was just talking to my friends, and I was like, the crazy thing is how your perspectives change because of your environment or the culture that you grew up. So, like, for example, I have a huge issue with yelling, but my mom and dad was yelling all the time in the house. So, say, if I'm yelling, that's what I'm used to, but you might not.
Like, why are you yelling?
Like, why are you yelling? Like, aggressive. It's not me being aggressive. That's just how I talk.
I'm talking about hands.
But no, that's a fact. I feel like,
you said abuse. Okay.
You shouldn't be going back.
I'll double down on that. Like,
I feel like you shouldn't be staying with or going back to somebody who is putting their hands on you. I just don't agree with that. I feel like, I mean, it's your business end of the day, but I feel like it's nothing love about that. But like, I have to agree with Hoff as far as somebody environment. A lot of the women who tend to stick around in situations like that are the ones who might have grew up seeing their mom or their auntie or somebody getting beat, and this behavior becomes normalized for them. Right. Them the ones who mom will tell them, oh, if he don't hit you, he don't love you, that type of stuff. So when they get that same behavior, all they doing is like, well, this is what I grew up seeing. I mean, you could say the same thing about Chris Brown. A lot of people crucify him for what happened between him and Rihanna, but all these women can have daddy issues, but if you want to be real, think about how he grew up seeing his mom get hit.
Right.
That type of behavior becomes normalized. So for her, she might be suffering from that syndrome where niggas putting their hands on you, but they make you feel like, what you gonna do without me?
Right.
And in that situation,
I seen, and I guess, I mean, this just happened a long time ago, but I seen my mom hit my dad. I couldn't say like, oh, Dad, you should leave this relationship. Like,
right.
Because I'm not married. I don't have, but I'm sure, and I'm not one of those niggas. It's definitely different from men hitting women and women hitting men. Yeah. Nobody should hit themselves, but physically, we're superior.
Right.
It's just different. If y'all hit me, I can eat that. If I hit y'all, I'm gonna knock her ass out.
Damn,
and I should, you know what I'm saying? So I hate, because I hate when guys say that.
But abuse is not a one-shot deal either.
Yeah, I know, but for me to say that, Dad, why didn't you leave Mom?
Right.
It's like,
now if Mom kept putting her hands on Dad, you probably want to leave before you fuck around and hulk on her shit.
Well, I will say, Jameel, go ahead. I
was say I'm out. I mean, I think if you, because I've been in a relationship, and I've never been in a relationship that's ever had any kind of physical, either way.
Right.
But I've came close, like not me doing something, but I ain't gonna say I've been swung on. I might have had some shit thrown at me.
Right.
But that was a red flag. Yeah, I mean, I thought.
Did that make you want to leave though?
Huh?
Did you say, right now, I'm not going to tolerate that?
I said for you to pick up something and throw it at me, you've reached a level where you don't respect me the way you respected me before. So I need to really consider moving forward in this relationship, because eventually you may connect, and then what am I going to do?
Right.
Because everybody can say, like what Mike Tyson said, everybody got plans until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right. So if you throw a book at my head and hit me right in the side of my head after a long day of work,
you might hope
I might lose my shit.
Right, because
and do I want to be in that kind of situation? No.
Because at that point, it's self-preservation. And then it's human nature at the same time.
Reflexes.
Right. But so I just feel like there's no circumstance, no reason, money, whatever. I don't think a woman should be totally dependent on anybody to the point where you have to take something like that to feel like, okay, well, if I leave, I'm not going to have nowhere to stay, or I'm not going to have a car to drive or food to eat.
So you're not talking about women.
I'm speaking in general.
But you just keep on referencing women. You ain't, and I'm not even trying.
I'm saying,
you didn't say people. You said a woman. You didn't say a man.
Because it is different, but I am going to I'm going to talk about that too. Like it was a part of my statement. It was
in
part
the
of
context of Emily B.
It was but I
wasn't talking.
But I was gonna, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna finish.
She was gonna segue.
I was gonna finish. Yes, because and I agree with Jameel, and I was gonna say that before he said his situation, because if a woman puts her hands on you, I do think that a man should leave as well, because if there's ever something where she actually does hurt, like, oh shit, that shit fuck me up.
On the wrong day.
You don't want to be in a position where you're going to go to jail, because you are going to go to jail.
You're going.
Whether she hits you first or not. So I think in any situation, you might want to leave later, leave immediately. I don't know, but you're going to have to figure out.
No good can come from that, because I feel like the only time, and it's not to justify women hitting a man, but I feel like the only time I feel like man maybe could possibly should eat that is if maybe like you gave her a STD or something like that. I feel like certain circumstances you might be able to
say I'm not trying to justify.
No, but I'm saying you burned her or something. Maybe she got something she can't get rid of. You did some wild sort of shit like that that's detrimental to her health, and she catch you with that open palm. You might gotta eat that, but under normal circumstances, like, come on, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. I feel like that shit is
for women in the middle of your game and she just turned off and you ain't save it yet.
You're not gonna die. Like, relax. It's a game. It's a game. That's dramatic.
Put that joke back down.
But you just gonna buck at her, like, that's dramatic. But I feel like nobody should be putting their hands, because I feel like men definitely have a reflex when it comes, especially when it comes to hitting a man in the face. You might take that rabbit punch to the ribs, but if I catch you in your jaw with anything, reflex alone.
And women ain't hitting you in your stomach. They hitting they going for the
I could.
Not me.
If I ever got hit by a woman, and that's what I'm just saying, because everybody got plans till they get punched in the mouth. I feel like one, I could walk away from. But after that second one, I'm probably going to have to restrain you.
That one
I'm probably going to have to restrain you a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. And just not to, I'm getting my business and not getting my business. I think it's all about what you've been through. Yeah. I have been in physical altercations with women.
Are you a battered man?
I think so. I think it's a lot of it's a lot of discussions that we don't have and we're not true to ourselves. Like, I see a therapist, or like communications. I was talking to my cousin. We were talking about, hey, should you call the police? I feel like we've dealt with so many traumatic experiences growing up. Like, we need counseling and like therapy.
Oh,
Because like calling the police, what does that really do?
It's temporary.
It's like boycotting.
Right.
The police, and then honestly, I don't think as black people, it doesn't benefit us like really calling the police.
Right.
That's not the resolution or anything.
Unless you really are in fear.
Oh yeah, no, definitely
yes.
women. And I also think like, especially with women, like if these, and I know this is hard because I'm not a woman, because people say, well, you know, if you call the police, that's usually when the most damage, you know, comes like after, because, you know, they scared, you know, once they leave. But what are you supposed to do if you don't leave? I mean, what is the option for
They
you?
have programs where you can go. If the police comes and they're going to ask you, do you have somewhere to go? And if you don't, they have resources for people like that.
Yeah, one of y'all got a road up.
Yeah, but they do make one person leave.
Women
but
give men
resources.
too many chances.
That's true.
All around. I'm not even talking about like...
No, absolutely. That's facts all day.
Yeah.
I just feel like at the end of the day, though, especially when it comes to women, because I mean, obviously, I feel like that's a problem too, and it's a bigger problem that doesn't get addressed is when women are putting their hands on men.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. I feel like everybody need to keep their hands to themselves. Now, granted, I don't advocate for no men abusing no women at all, but what I'm saying is, I was always told you don't raise your hands to somebody that you don't want to fight.
Absolutely.
So you got to understand this is a human being. You put your hands up to somebody and you expect them to just take that and not have a reflex that you back or not want it's the act of no consequences for your actions that be having like women feeling like they can do things like this and you supposed to just deal. You're not supposed to.
You gotta you gotta leave or call the police.
But there has to be some sort of consequence because if you glass her ass, it's like no shade. I feel bad that you got hit, but you know if your action was removed from the situation, it would have never happened. Therefore, you're wrong.
Right. A lot of people just need to expand their vocabulary because it's a lot you can do.
Learn how to
with
jump.
words.
But you know what though? When you look at our upbringing and our youth, we're the majority of the time, and I feel like the majority is fair. Black households are physically abusive when it comes to correction with children. So
even with discipline,
with discipline. So you grow up and you got the same people that have made a correlation between obedience and physical abuse.
Exactly.
And then it plays out on both sides of the relationship. So it gets played out in the helpless victim. That's now the woman in the abusive relationship who was abused by her parents. Father may have beat her, mother may have beat her, and she couldn't do anything about it. So now she falls into this mindset of this helpless victim because that's how she's grown up.
Yeah.
So they say, well, why do people go back and go back? It's way deeper than,
it is.
Oh, it's the sex good or this, that.
Right.
No, it's a psychological thing because she's
Exactly.
used to being a victim that's helpless in a situation that stemmed from her parents beating her as a child.
Right.
So
Whose parents probably beat them.
Parents probably beat them.
Right.
So a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to physical abuse, because we look at it and we say, "Oh, look at me, I got beaten, I turned out all right." But then look at all these physically abusive relationships.
Right. Yeah.
Because what's your ceiling?
Quick, Sabrae, I know you're about to go in there. So I do single therapy sessions and I do group therapy sessions, right? And like I said, I'm not justifying anything what people do.
Right.
Justification. But like you really don't know what people have gone through. This guy, he was kind of like bleeding out. And he basically said the reason that he hit his girlfriend is because it's the only time he felt like he was a man. And I was like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Then he started breaking down. He was like, you know, she made like more money than him. Like she kind of like used to like just trying to emasculate him. So when they did get in physical like altercations, he felt like, okay, this is the only time that I can show you.
Right.
So I didn't agree with it,
but
I can
understood.
understand
the logic.
So I don't want to.
No.
Understand does not mean I agree with. But then he's thinking like, damn, well, if I can't, there's no other facet in our relationship where I feel like the man or she doesn't make me feel like that. Where this is one thing that I can do. So
right, yeah, and under no circumstances should you go back. I feel like to any. You just have to know that it's other choices, it's other options that you have to go back to a person that physically harm you. Because I believe whether it's a woman or a man, it will only get worse.
Yeah,
and I feel like you need to gauge that situation on how you exit though.
Yeah,
because these women are turning up dead.
Yes,
that's real.
Yeah.
That is
Someone
true.
put a whole story on Twitter the other day I read, and it was a hell of a story. You have to read it. Sonny posted it, and it really was. It was hard to read because while they were saying, "Oh, this person doesn't look like they would do," a lot of these guys don't. A lot of people don't believe, especially ones who know these men and they work with them. They don't believe they're capable of what's happening. But they was talking about some girl in school. Her classmate was getting the shit beat out of her by a dude. She tried to leave. She was staying with a girl from her school, and this nigga was going through everything to find her. Literally had got somebody to commit violations in her vehicle. so that she would get in trouble. Got her arrested and then bailed her out of jail so that he would be like, to the point where she told her friend to stop intervening. Like, can you just stop intervening because I don't want, I'm worried about your safety. And literally and it ended up marrying the dude and everything. And why? Because her family like, who, this guy? No way. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? People have two sides to them, and what you see outside is not what you see on the inside. So you got to worry about your safety too. That's the downside. It's like, is these whoopings worth me dying over? Because he's saying if I leave, he'll kill me, or
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, we gotta move on. I've been trying to wrap up like 3 times, but we got the moral of the story. I be trying
Millie rocking down there under the table.
I know what Sabrae trying to. Sabrae eyes get big. She's like,
you better drink that wine.
Sabrae stop breathing hard.
Got that Sabrae over there fucking that Millie rock out.
I can't stop. Okay. So we let Yatta collect herself.
I feel like that shit was about to come on my nose.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's real laughter. I didn't get it. I didn't get that.
Sabrae, you be getting a lot of stuff, Joe.
I was about to come on my nose. He was like, pause.
I'm a little slow.
Just what she said.
It's all good.
No, he's just a hug.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Audience.
So y'all, okay, more serious, a little bit more serious. I know a lot of people have seen the video of the young woman in Alabama in a restaurant who was kind of choked out and slammed on the floor, twisted arm by the police. It was really sad to, I literally almost cried watching that footage. And her breasts were exposed.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
It was really, really bad. I just felt, the first thing I felt when I saw that video was the fact that a lot of times Black women, we are not protected. We're like the only group, Black people are, but definitely women were more vulnerable. We're the most vulnerable, and we really don't have protection in this country. Shit like that does not happen to a white woman. It won't happen to a Hispanic woman or an Asian woman because somebody's going to, do some shit about it. But there's no consequences when that type of stuff is done.
Right.
What were you guys' feelings or reactions of the video?
I couldn't watch all of it.
Yeah.
It was hard to stomach, to be honest, because it's a woman. Are you serious? I don't understand the logic of you abusing your authority like that to manhandle a woman.
Yes.
When I've watched videos of white women air these dudes out, cuss them out,
God,
go in on them. No, I want to know. No, calling them all types of names and wild stuff. But you out here dragging Black women like it's a sport.
Yeah.
We're animals to them.
Yeah.
But they look at us as animals.
I think trying to understand, when a lot of times we say, well, I don't understand how somebody could. I do. It's simple. That's the crazy part. It's simple to understand how they think. Because just like we had to get around programming that we had, they got programming too. So you got to understand, if you was a white person, right? And it's like we talked about the movies and the hood movies and all that a couple weeks. And all you see is a particular image of a Black person. I don't care who you are. If you see, you think about people that hate pit bulls. Why? Because they see images of pit bulls eating the shit out of people. You don't see nice pit bulls. So all pit bulls are bad. We're banning pit bulls from this area. So I remember you said a couple weeks ago, I can't remember exactly how you worded it, but I wanted to spin off, but I couldn't. And it was a book from Niggas to Gods, Part 2 by Kill. One of the chapters was titled, To Kill Something, You Gotta Make It Killable. So after years and years of this imagery, they don't see us as equal. They don't. So that's why it don't matter Black man, Black woman, Black child. They see a Black child, they see a kid that may grow up and steal a radio out of car.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's all about imagery. See, we see things on the same physical plane a lot of the times, but on the intellectual plane, we don't see them the same. So you see a Black child and you see this beautiful thing that may blossom into this great person. They see a Black child and they see a potential monster. And if they can get him now, then they don't have to get him 5 years from now when they big and strong.
After some shit is already
Yeah. I wanted to give another perspective on it, though, because a lot of times when we see stuff like this, in no way did anything justify that because she didn't pose a threat to that officer, that white officer. But at the same time, when you get stopped by an officer, when you get when you're at you're a prisoner at war. We are in, this is like a war state that we're in America. If they tell you to leave, get the fuck up and get the fuck out.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? And is it right that it's like that?
No.
No, but your life might depend on it. If they go by a policy that says ask, tell, make. Of course, they use their discretion on who that is,
right?
You know, and that's wrong. You know, we all know that police.
White people never make it past the ask stage.
Right. And we all know that white extremist groups have been infiltrating the police force for years, law enforcement for years. You know, our FBI said that, but. They go by ask, tell, make. They ask you, they tell you, and then they have to make you. Because if you were at your house and somebody was at your house and you tell the police, this person, can you remove this person? You're not going to want them to just talk to them for 2 hours. You're going to want to get them the fuck out. Because, you know what I'm saying? So that's a place of business. But whatever it is, if a police officer tells you to do something, do that shit. You can deal with that shit later.
Complain,
yeah, you can deal with that shit later as far as the complaint or writing or whatever.
What's that going to do?
Prevent you from having your breast exposed and you being assaulted, physically assaulted.
And becoming a hashtag.
Because at the same time, you might become a hashtag.
Any given moment. Just like they slammed that ex-football player up.
Right. Does your life,
I
I understand pride and I understand humanity and all of that stuff, but is it worth your life when you could just get up and get out? But you have to do that,
You know what? And this is coming from somebody, I've been pulled over dirty a majority of times. Never been in jail.
Allegedly. Well, not allegedly for that, but you've been pulled over for being dirty. Allegedly.
Dirty.
Was it gas or was it shape?
I mean, like, I done been fried. I done had.
This was back in the day, like 20 years ago.
Way back. You know, I done had
2017.
I done had some things on the road. You know what I'm saying? And me, I understand the game. A lot of this, we say all the time, this is a psychological game, and a lot of it is intellectual. I gotta look when I get pulled over. I look at it from the police officer standpoint. Again, to kill something, you got to make it killable. When he sees me, he automatically assumes the worst. So what's my job?
You give him the opposite.
I got to make him comfortable. Hey, sir, how you doing, man? Man, yeah, I know I was speeding, man. I was in a rush.
Yes.
And man, look, you know how it be when you try and get somewhere. But, and I try to get that initial laugh, and I swear to God, that has kept me, I've been pulled over dead ass drunk. And I'm not promoting drunk driving. This is when I was young.
This was 20 years ago, by the way.
Right,
Statute
right, 20.
Right,
20 years ago.
When he was 30.
Right.
When he was 30.
But I've always kept this same mindset.
Yeah.
I have to make this officer comfortable because if he's uncomfortable, he has all the tools to make this a very bad situation for me.
Especially if you know you're wrong in some way.
If I know I'm wrong, I don't care. Hey, you come up and say, "Hey, nigger, how you doing today?" Fine, sir. How you doing?
I'm trying to make it the fuck home.
But how about when you're not wrong? Because I'm not gonna lie.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because it's not worth. You know how in relationships you pick your battles. It's the same thing in life.
Yes.
Yeah, but he not giving me no pussy.
Right, but when he not giving you no motherfucking bullet in the back either.
Exactly. But also, too, a lot of people, if you could be 100% right, they could have been straight up profiling you. But do you want a situation where you sitting on a curb, or do you want to just go?
Look,
and you just in a situation where that's how it is when it comes to black people in law enforcement. Because a lot of times, if you're just polite, oh, I'm so sorry, I ran that red light, and you know damn well you didn't. You be like, I apologize. Normally, to people even that are a little bit wrong, they'll cuss the police officer out, and for what? You could have saved the $200.
You don't even got to talk to the police officer. You can roll your window down, license, registration. You don't even have to have any conversation with the police officer.
But acting like a dickhead will only make them act like a dickhead.
That's not acting like a dickhead.
But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
If you're the 10th person they pulled over today, and all the 9 other people have done the same shit, you could be the person that turned their day to a positive. They may get you off with a warning, you know. And this is happening to me. Most of it's the only way I know.
He could be dead wrong. Speeding, if they're polite or they don't have the right to, they will not do it. A lot of times they just want to tell you.
They might put it for less than what it would have been and get you out of that reckless driving
save some money, save a trip to jail, save a potential hashtag.
So how do we correct their behaviors if we're just going to
We can't unless a lot of us in large numbers become police officers. It's really nothing that we can do but just comply with how the system is.
Gotcha.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Got to be people from the areas that they're policing.
You just understand the game. Anything else we do in life, we take the time to understand the game and then we operate in the game. We do it at work. We do it in sports. We do it, and we want these people. Remember we said a system is not built as like humans. A system is not built off emotion.
Yes.
It's built off results.
Exactly.
So if it says the system is this and you have the authority to do this, any human with any kind of twisted mindset can come in there and skew those to do what they want to do. Yeah, because the system. So you can't change the people in the system. The people are going to be the people. The most you can do, I always say, God forbid, I end up in like one of them situations where they pulling me out the car. It's going to be the most silent ass whooping because I'm not giving them no gas. I'm not giving them, why are you doing this to me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving them none of that shit. I'm going to sit down there and I'm going to be like, and you're going to have to whoop my quiet ass.
But that don't stop them from whooping your ass.
It may not. But the point is, I'm not giving them no fuel to the fire because I feel like now when I see these videos, it's just like anything else. It's trendy. Why are you doing this to me? You know why? It's a game. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Stop fighting these motherfuckers.
Because that's the shit people use to justify what's happening to you.
You know, the stronger message in that scenario. Now, I'm not saying go get your ass whooped, but the stronger message in that scenario is when a judge can pull the tape and you're not wiggling around. Because remember, no matter what you say, why are you doing this to me? But you're resisting. This right here is you resisting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, because of the loopholes, they can say, oh, well, that's resisting arrest, and they can get it all day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You want it to be undeniable, but just to give you a better chance. Because even though that's not going to give it, that it may not even get you that, but it gives you a better chance at justice or being able to defend yourself on paper or, in the courts. That's what you're looking for.
But that's why I got mature at. So
hopefully
I'm not one of those.
It's hard.
It's hard. I'm not for making people comfortable. You know what I used to do when I was walking on the sidewalk when I see like white people, I used to move to the side, because I wanted to make No, it's
see, I don't do that shit now.
I'm trying to make them feel comfortable because they see me as a threat.
But it's a difference because that officer has your freedom in his or her hands,
or your life,
in his or her hands.
Like,
but at work or walking the streets,
but people have firearms who could take your life.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that element of the game.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I definitely have been one of those people who, when I'm not wrong, you might get cussed out, depending on circumstance. It's not an all-inclusive scenario, but I've definitely aired out some cops. It's never really worked against me thus far because I feel like when you come with your facts, depending on who you get, like when you really know your rights, it varies, especially with a woman. Now, if I was a man, probably would have got him fucking, but it's a little less, no, don't get me wrong, because I'm still black, but it's a little less threatening to be a female. So it's like, it's been times where cops have been wanting to do X, Y, Z, and I'm like, nah, see, what we not about to do is da-da-da-da-da-da, and the game has kind of shifted a little bit, because they're like, hold up, bitch, how the fuck you know about that? Like, so, I mean, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like,
yeah, it's too much.
Younger, definitely a lot younger. It's been times where we've been sitting on the curb. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I might just be feeling myself like time, and they trying to, you pull this up, they trying to open the trunk. You're not gonna get the motherfucking trunk. I might be that person, but for the most part, like, sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? It is what it is. It's unfortunate because you feel like they shouldn't. It's a lot of things that people shouldn't be doing. Like, we can say, oh, men shouldn't rape women, but that's not gonna stop you from doing whatever you can to not put yourself in that situation. So it goes either way.
But
like,
shit, you know how on a social platform you've had women say, "No, you should just teach men not to. Your son's not to rape." That's not the case. You got to use preventative measures.
Well, no, they're saying do both, which I can respect. You should do both because it's both. Because the same way we tell people how they can prevent things happening, you should be teaching them the people that's doing the problem that they shouldn't do that too. It goes both ways. It feels like it's multifaceted. Yes, they should tell cops, hey, why don't you operate within the realm of your fucking job? But there's always going to be an excuse, and it doesn't help. That when you're, like you said, when you're asking them, why are you doing this to me? You don't, nobody ever really says that without movement. Exactly. You're not just like, why are you doing this to me? Oh my God, hey, oh my God, you're twisting my arm. Like, you're going to move at some point, and it's all about perception. When they got these cams on and it looks like you don't give them nothing.
Cams, they turn them motherfuckers off.
Oh, they've been muting
and it's all the game. And I mean, I know about the whole thing. I know about the straw man. I know about the overstand thing when the cop asks you if you understand them. So I know about the double meanings and everything, but I got to ask myself if I get pulled over, and, thank God I haven't in a while, is it worth me displaying this mental, my mental fortitude and risking having my fucking face in the ground. Right. No, so it's like I know all that shit and I play the game.
They're the judge and jury at that time. You're not going to get in the courtroom and start cussing out the judge, even if they seem biased or whatever. That's an
extreme. I ain't say curse like, "Hey, you bitch ass nigga, why the fuck you put me over?"
Still do. People, if you think people don't do that,
I never
absolutely do that.
I've seen I've been in a car with people who like been getting hype, and I'm like, hey, like
they absolutely
you see the videos
do
of all the time. It's like a trend now. Where they feel like, oh no, you see them pulling up on random cops who mind they been y'all some bitch ass niggas.
Yes.
You'll never get robbed. And then
they film. They want attention. They want to go viral. That's why they filming that stuff. They idiots.
Right. And the officers are people.
You got to understand, like you said earlier, we at a war. This police force is you might as well look at them as the U.S. military, and you might as well look at us as over in the Middle East or North Korea, because that's how they put the pressure on us. So if you're unprepared for this war, you won't understand how you got to deal with these people. Like I've talked myself out of so much, and I know people who people who blessed with the gift of gab. You can talk yourself out of situation, and I talk myself out of so much, and it's based on an understanding of what's happening here. Yeah. Like if a cop pulls up on me right now, we leave our airport up on me right now. He says, "Show me your license and registration." I'm gonna say, "Hey, look, I want to reach for my license and registration. It's right here. Are you all right with that?"
Yes, right.
Let me roll my window all the way down first.
That's normal, though.
Right, but I'm gonna take every. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm playing the game. Yeah. I know as a human being, you should know you just told me to reach for my license and registration.
So
but I know it's a loophole to where you can use me reaching for my license and registration.
He was reaching for a gun.
Me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So on your body cam, I wanted to say, "Hey, I'm reaching for my license and registration. Exactly. Is that all right with you?"
Yeah, when I get pulled over, I roll down my window and I put my hands out.
Most people show their hands.
I put so you know, like I'm that. So now when you come to the window, but like I'm not giving you no extra shit, especially if I was in the wrong. I don't ride.
My shit just already out.
I butters that shit up.
That shit out the glove box.
Because I don't feel like that I'd be a bitch ass nigga today. I don't make it home. Because if I really want to inflict some kind of change, it's not gonna come from me rolling around on the ground getting my ass whooped in a police video. It's gonna come from me making it home, going back to this grind I'm on. That's actually trying to make some real change.
Yeah, and let's be clear, it's a difference too when it comes to black people between a white officer and a black one and where they come from.
Motherfuckers the same to me.
Well, let me explain. I understand that. And I do understand that. But sometimes a lot of times, especially if you grew up in the area that you're policing or you're familiar with the people in that area. Right. If you're a black person from, I don't know, let's say, no, I'm talking about like Calvert County somewhere, and you already a coon, and that might, of course, that's going to be different.
Right.
I'm not saying that just because you're from Calvert County, you're a coon. Let's be clear. I'm just saying.
But
you get what I'm saying. But that's not what I'm saying. But
I'm saying a combination of if you're from Calvert County and you're a coon, not just because you're from there.
White people and all that. And then a lot of times too, we make the mistake. We make the mistake in being polite to the white officers and shitting on the black ones.
Right. That too.
You know what I'm saying? So that happens a lot as well. That too. And I believe that there is a difference a lot of times, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it is. But you definitely need to comply with what they fucking say.
Well, you know what you just said. We should be nice to the white police officers because they the one getting off. Black police officers.
Well, you be polite to everyone.
I'm nice to both.
Yeah, just say you're nice to everyone.
No, the black most of my experiences, the black officers, they be trying to prove a point.
But even still, and that's fucked up. Yeah. But even still, like with the black ones, white ones, you be polite to anybody because even if your life is not at risk, I'd rather save $200. You know what I'm saying? Than to be like, what you pulling me over for? All this crime going on, and you pulling me over. What does that prove? Now here you go, $200 when they wanted to give you really a warning.
My mind was
already on getting out of having an attitude.
My mind already on getting out of this ticket though. I'm sorry.
I know what happens all the time.
I know. I got friends. I know. I
got friends too.
So then you should know.
Yeah, I know. I worked at the courthouse for about 5 years. I worked at the courthouse, and I became cool with a lot of sheriffs, a lot of county police, and a lot of these dudes were straight up dudes, like just like me. They just ain't get caught doing what they was doing as young, and they turned it into a job. Like I know, and I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but I know some dudes that have very similar backgrounds that are high-ranking members of these organizations, and a lot of the times they don't feel like doing half the shit they gotta do to really fuck you over. So you really gotta make them. Like I know one of my mans. And like I said, remain nameless. The organization remain nameless. He said he would if he pulled over somebody with a DUI, rather than just filling out all this paperwork, he would take their fucking keys and throw it in the woods. Yeah. And be like, all right, man, have a nice night. Figure out how to get home.
Right, because that's a lot of paperwork.
Right.
They don't want to do.
Because you don't intend.
Saving a life.
And you don't intend to hurt nobody. A lot of the times that drunk driver is not intending to take anybody's life. They just really want to get home.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to make it harder for you to get home, but I'm not going to give you a DUI, mess your license, or potentially your job up. I'm just going to throw your fucking keys in the woods.
That sober your ass up.
You see what I'm saying? So, but I think so when we say like, oh, we need more police officers, the way they bend the rules for them, we need more that's going to bend the rules for us. Yeah. Because people going to make a mistake. You might have had one more. Yeah, you might have had one too many drinks that night and you really out here tripping.
Everyone that's leaving, every last person that's leaving the club.
Yeah.
Is probably legally drunk.
Yeah. So when you catch that person that's a little over, you may gauge it. Now, if you find fucking 2-3 straps in the car, then you might have to take them to jail. But if they just one of them people that I'm just trying to make it home.
Yeah.
All right. Call somebody. They got to come get you.
In these rough areas, a lot of times, especially if you're not a race soldier, they really just want to get guns and a lot of drugs. Yep, you think they tripping off of you? They really not. They want the weight.
Literally had a cop tell me exactly that. Yeah. Pull me over. None of my shit was legit. All the paperwork was wrong. It wasn't my fault. It was the ship's fault. But either way, he pulled me over.
Drugs, guns, and warrants.
He was he came over that joint. He ran my shit. Was like, bruh. I was like, look. I explained to him what was going on. He was like, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, nigga. I'm looking for guns and drugs.
That's it.
Have a nice night, man. He rolled right. I rolled the window. That's me. My mama in the car. Some kids. He looking like, man, y'all ain't got shit, man. All right, have a nice night.
Exactly.
He didn't care because
we got pulled over in the city one time and they found some weed in the car. And they was like, all right, where the guns and drugs at? And same thing, y'all got warrants? Yeah. Nah, man, we good. We just smoking a little weed out here. It's a nice day.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I got pulled over on Rosedale. Full tour. Hey, how you doing, officer? This and that. Where the cocaine at? I said, cocaine?
Sir.
What's that?
Cocaine?
What's that?
Have you seen
He said, come on now. Where the drugs at? The same thing. I was like, no. License is suspended. It's not suspended anymore. I ain't give a fuck. Because I'm not hurt. No, I'm driving. I got a license to suspended. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm capable.
They all had it suspended. Like, I don't give a fuck either. My shit was suspended. My shit was suspended for about 3 years. I ain't even know.
For a lot of reasons.
It be unpaid tickets. Most of the time, when tickets are... You don't pay a ticket, they'll suspend that shit.
It's a lot. It's a combination of
it. Yeah.
It's just a way to get money, get you in the
system. I'm fucking tired of that shit.
Sometimes I
also
forget
get you fingerprinted
because
they lock you up, a warrant come out, now you fingerprinted.
Oh, I never got locked up for a suspended license because I guess that gets the gabs. I definitely have talked myself out of a whole bunch of shit. Nigga might
suspended license.
They towed my car to my house, but they won't even tow my shit to their lot. They've had my car towed to my house. Before, but never to like an impound lot.
FOP treatment you got.
It's all about that gift. That's when you talk yourself out of stuff. You know what I mean? I've been balling, speeding, ran a red light, got pulled over. Hey, officer, I'm sorry, man. I gotta pee like shit, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. Mm-hmm. Here, look at, ma'am, get out of here. Thank you.
Can y'all use the cramps, John? Like, you know how y'all used to use in school, and when the teachers say none of y'all can go to the bathroom, you be like, oh,
I don't feel like that. I hate you have cramps, so you run like, no, sorry, I gotta pee like shit. I'm looking for a McDonald's. It doesn't hurt that I have Virginia tags and I be in Maryland because they looking like, oh, I just look lost.
Yeah, you sweet.
Literally cut off cars and around the stadium, got pulled over. It's been times where I hopped out the car. Look, can you please help me? I'm lost. And they just be distracted. Right. Yeah. Look, you play the game. It's all about how you
be hopping out the car. Oh, you can't hop out the motherfucking car.
I was pregnant.
That's not one of that's not a move in my rule book.
Oh no, not at all. That's what I said. I would not recommend my tactics, but it definitely worked for me. Like I got pulled over, man. Look, I had my hands. Look, I rolled the window down. I stuck my hands out. I reached for the outside, opened the door. Yeah. And then all he saw was belly. When I stood, I said, "Can you please tell me where's Chuck E. Cheese?" And
this is what I do, and this is a kind of like a step by step when you get pulled over. As soon as they got the lights flashing behind me, I get my license and registration out while I'm driving before I pull over, so I don't got to reach. Sit it right on my console. Take my time. I pull over. As soon as I pull over, I roll all my windows down. Put my car in park. Leave it there, and I got my hands. And just be prepared. Because you don't have to pull over as soon as they put the lights on. You can take your time.
Pull over where somewhere.
Find your shit before you pull over and they walking up to your car. And have it on your dash, on your whatever, you know. And
even if you find it
make
at the stop, because there's usually a little bit of lapse in time from the time when they do that. So you good.
Moral of the story is comply. Just fucking comply. Deal with that. Deal with the bullshit later.
Take
Things can be done.
That's the ego out.
Get
Get home to your family.
Get home to your family. Get home to your family. Save some money. You write up reports on them. You know, things can be done.
Listen to the Harvard Code, it's going to jail. So
remember, these people just like you. So if you get approached with some negativity, you know you're going to bring that back.
Who you writing the reports to? Their friends, they're going to throw that shit all you.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's very true.
I don't know how it is in Alabama, but I know how
it is. Don't get your ass hurt. Okay.
I don't know, but just make it home, you know, because you doing that is really not going to get you far. They got the power in that situation. Yep. Unless you're really ready to like brawl, I wouldn't even. You know what I'm saying?
As much as y'all talk about male ego and male fragility, then y'all should know
exactly
with a male with a gun, put your fucking pride to the side, let that man have his fun, and you make it home safe.
I don't want to be no hashtag.
Hey y'all, I feel like Meek Mill. I think I don't know. I'm real fishy. I feel real fishy about how he's getting treated right now. I'm glad he's home.
Right.
But I don't know. All them white people supporting him. He might owe somebody later.
Well, he's playing the game, like y'all said.
Maybe you so extra.
I mean, it got him in freedom.
It could be.
Though?
I just don't care about him enough to care. But
it's not because it's not about Meek Mill. It's about what he represents right now. What he represents is an injustice and being, get mass incarceration and all these unfair prison sentences.
The type of Meek Mill that comes from this situation to let you know, I think, where he was at with it. Because at this point, when you look at some of the last real heavy albums that have dropped, you talking Big Crit, Kendrick, J. Cole, what I feel are kind of like the top of the line artists in terms of what I can relate to. If Meek wants to turn that corner, he has to come out with a project that. Because this is the thing, I feel like Meek came from a real bad upbringing. So he can tell a story that J. Cole can't tell, that Kendrick tells, but he can tell you know what I'm saying, a similar kind of story. So I think it'll depend on what we see. We'll know what he did based on if he come back out with, my watch this, my watch that.
He definitely will. Niggas don't come back with like, look,
you gotta come right with that same Audemars and that same motherfucking Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's just be different. I got my Audemars from sales, not the streets, nigga.
I just hope he don't start cooning or whatever, have a whole bunch of people favors and all of this shit.
So he gonna do all that. I just felt like, for real, I was really like never one of them people who was super, no shade, like, oh my God, I can't believe me got it. Because I was just looking at it like, at the end of the day, my nigga, you was on papers, bro. And niggas who been on papers kind of know how exactly. My thing is,
deal is that?
No bullshit. But it's like it don't help that you don't stay out of that. You know how that shit go though.
Right.
So my only downside to that was as much as people was pissed that I think the sentence was necessarily
fair. No,
fair not at all. But at the same time, when you on papers, you know what's hanging over your head. So you get a little too comfortable doing certain things because you feel like, well, I got to pass with this. Then they decide to flex on your ass. It's unfortunate. I didn't think it was fair, but it's like at the same time, people were drawing like, I don't like a race baiter either.
Right.
So wait. What's a race baiter? Because I don't believe in that term.
The people who kind of draw
parallels.
Word
of the day.
Is not race baiter.
It's like the ones who draw parallels with stuff that really should not have parallels drawn. Like, for example, people was like, what did I see on the timeline that kind of like blew me like shit? Oh, the guy who, the Waffle House shooter, he got a $2 million bond. People like, oh, this nigga got a $2 million bond, but Meek can't. I'm like, okay, let's not, because that's just kind of weird. My thing is, he had no business getting a bond. Don't get me wrong. No fucking business getting a bond. I stand by that 100%.
Right.
But I'm like, realistically, though, most of these bammers who on papers who violate, they got to fight for that bond. Right. And they may not get it. And a lot of times they don't get it. Let's be real. You push for it, you can, depending on circumstances. But a lot of them people, when you violate, they putting your ass back in it.
It don't, but I didn't think that was a false parallel. And you might know more as far as if they're on papers and how that works. But Meek is not the only one who will get an outrageous bail or no bail at all versus a person who was an actual shooter who killed 4 people who got bail. So I do think that was valid for people to bring up that comparison, but I don't like the term race baiter because it's usually used on us when we use raised to understand what's happening to us, and it's only used on us.
What when I cited that, it's in a situation where it's like, don't get me wrong, because it's a lot of shit that racism is in or involved in or intertwined in some way. But I'm like, in circumstances where it's not, let's not dilute shit by making every single, and that's what made me mad, because all it really boiled down to was that nigga really shouldn't have got no bond. But damn, everybody glass full. He shouldn't have got no bond. But I don't feel, my thing is the circumstances different.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I don't. That term I think is dangerous for us.
Can I say how I feel about it?
Sure.
No, we don't care.
Man, free my nigga Meek.
He's free.
We need some new album.
We don't.
Some new smoke.
I don't like just like much like how you said the yelling thing. I'm one of those people. Why are you yelling at me? I can't listen to Meek because of that. I don't like the yelling tone.
Yeah.
When we say new smoke minus the Audemars, can we just like leave Audemars?
No, I like all that Audemars. Yeah, I need all that. I need all the bikes. Willie at 12 o'clock.
I push such a
Puma life.
Like, and even with artists that I've been close with, you know what I'm saying, on a different scale, I always push growth. I feel like you should grow.
I think he would.
Project to project to project. So
you listen to me?
Huh?
You listen to me?
Here and there.
His last album is totally different from his first album. Like his last album was great,
but
and
this
he talks about his,
because he had a freestyle that was kind of circulating that he did right. So
he talks about his evolution as an artist,
right?
But goes right back to
and then goes right back to. So I'm looking for that borderline evolution, and it's out of all artists. So like even Big Crit put out his last album was that double disc, where he's still kind of straddling the fence, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I look for his next album to be that KOD, that where it fully turns the corner and it's a full expression. I think Meek got a great story to tell, but fuck all the materialism, fuck all that. Like, tell your story, bro. Like, from where you really from, and because it's a million other street niggas that can relate to that, and you can give them a way out without giving them all the bullshit.
No, I disagree. No, fuck that shit. Still talk that street gangster shit and put it in a context, because like Meek Mill like 30, 31. Like
something like
Jay
that.
came out 26, right?
Right.
His fourth album, he was still talking all that shit, Joe. Like he wasn't like nobody. I don't know why. Like even with T.I. won that gun. Like T.I. snitched. All right. All right. And guess what? Came home, was still talking about guns and shit. I feel like it's duality. Like you can you can definitely tell your story, but mix that shit up. I don't want you to go, he's not Kendrick. I don't want no KOD from him, because that's not going to be his lane.
It won't be KOD because they don't have the same experiences.
Yeah.
But it would be like,
because I don't want Meek talking about him losing his virginity at 32. Get the fuck out of here. Golly.
My favorite
busting
artist,
a nut
right?
in his pants.
My favorite rapper is Scarface.
Why don't you
right?
That's my nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
I felt like
and
Face
still
always gave you. So like when they talk about Damn and everything now, Face was giving you that with
the fix. Guess my shit. What?
You know what I'm saying?
But these people don't. I'm not going to get into this music talk. Go ahead. These people don't listen to enough music.
Yeah. Well, when I think about my favorite artist, one of who I feel like, and I've never seen Face kill a nigga, but I did see Face in Fordsville Mall walking dolo with a velour sweatsuit on, looking like
they
the
love him
in
DC.
We love him. We love Face. It was Go-Go and Face. We ain't know about no other rappers growing up.
Devin the Dude and Scarface, they might as well be from Southeast.
And Backyard Band and Groovers and Junk. That was it. But I say all that to say Face was my favorite artist because I felt like he always gave you both sides.
Yeah.
I feel like artists like Meek, at this point in his career, it's that real heavy marketed music side. But I feel like I feel like he's a talented dude, and I feel like if he really stepped over into that other side, just on one solid album, it could do so much, because his gift is his vocals. So he could do so much good for the, you know what I'm saying?
No, but no.
Well, I mean,
I don't prefer the
Jameel, but like you said, he gave you both, because Face can give you that track, and he's still going to talk about shooting motherfuckers on the next track.
Face will give you that real
It's
shit.
just different. People dress up their rhyme schemes and the delivery different.
Yeah.
They still all talking about the same stuff.
Yes.
Right.
It's just that
in perspective.
Facing that, like from where they from, they probably not into all that material. When you get to
All
the
that
Northeast
extra
and you
shit.
get to New York, you get to DC, Philly, it's about flashy shit like that. You go up Cali, them niggas.
They do the cars and all that.
Yeah, but it's different. Like, I mean, in Houston rap, you hear like Paul Wall, they always call car slabs, shit like that, because that's their culture. In the West Coast, like, they're not dressing up like Nipsey wearing white tees, big chains, Chucks, YG. Yeah, they don't. So they rap about different. Like in the Northeastern area, like it's just
I think Southern.
I fuck with Nipsey though. Nipsey my man.
he's smart.
Because that's a perfect comparison, right? I'm glad you said that. So Nip, I feel like is the epitome of the conscious street nigga.
Yeah.
The nigga that I feel like Nip was right there in the trenches, but I feel like a lot of the times I relate to him because I feel like we may be on the same path spiritually. And it's crazy because this is how I bound to my artists.
Yeah.
So when KOD came out, I feel like J. Cole pulled that album right out of my head.
Oh my God.
No, because
Don't start bleeding, Jameel.
No. I'm just saying on a spiritual level. And even with the Nip album, it was things because I'm working on real estate. So when I hear Nip talk about them deals, I'm like, yeah,
that's what you can relate to.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I can relate to.
Be,
so I feel like in the evolution of an artist, when it comes to when I look at street niggas as artists, I feel like they should all be on that Nip track. Like
just evolving.
Speak to your niggas.
I got a victory
and help them out of that. Help them out of that instead of just flashing or watching their face or calling their face all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like speak to your niggas.
Yeah, but everybody don't like. It's like everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody don't want to be an activist. And I hear you because mentally you're somewhere else.
Right.
Like I even say this. Like I be learning so much from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm still might not ever get to that level that you are at. You know what I'm saying? Because we are too. We're similar in a lot of ways, but we still different.
Yeah.
I feel like Meek Mill next project, he will give you some tracks like that.
I think so.
I think he will.
It's always
leave the Audemars behind, dog. I'm tired of hearing about that fucking watch, dog.
It's always about evolution.
J. Cole just stopped talking about Sally Mae.
Hey, why don't you just relax?
That's not true.
Yes, he paid Sally Mae off 6 years ago. He's still talking about that
Nobody
bullshit.
pays Sally Mae off, first of all. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You never pay Sally Mae off.
So since y'all
whoever they are now.
Y'all went to college, right? No, y'all too. What's the opposite of evolution?
I went to college.
Oh,
straight and
I
PG.
didn't. Well, I didn't. So
I went to PG for a little bit.
No, I didn't. But y'all speaking of evolution, what's the word for the opposite of evolution?
DM.
Is it de-evolution?
No, I just put DM for the anything.
No, honestly.
Are you smarter than the fifth grade?
You just what?
No, I
just put a
I'm
D
a high
in front of
school.
D.
No, you said I just put D in front of everything.
Wow. I'm a high school graduate and a first year, what is it, art school dropout. So please.
Evolution. So the opposite would be like, it would be going backwards.
Yeah, I mean,
regression.
But what is we don't know
you
where.
You mean the term that specifically pairs with evolution.
Because whatever that is, that's what Kanye is.
De-evolution.
De-evolution. I was thinking about De-Revolution. You remember De-Revolution Cafe?
Yeah.
You remember on Central Avenue?
No.
Then I think Groove was missed out.
Y'all looking at that.
Oh, you fucking kidding. Wow.
Oh, you got the remix now?
Yeah, I'm
sorry. It is.
No. Sabrae's about to bring up the topic I was waiting for.
What's that?
Bring it on.
Well, how I was gonna try to be slick about it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
It is degeneration, right?
Degeneration. Okay.
Degeneration.
I said that.
Okay.
It was D something.
It was
you
D
was on
something.
it. Right.
Is de-evolution? Did we say de-evolution?
Yes, y'all did.
No, I said
yes, y'all did.
I said
congregation.
No. I don't feel bad for dropping out.
Nah.
All right, Sean. We here, Sean.
Your ass is fired. Real quick though, that Nipsey, I got a.
Bring on.
I got a victory lap for your ass.
Lauren London got something to say about that.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Slow down. Can't fight, okay?
First of all,
if you can't fight, you single.
First of all, we can tag team and break them up.
I'm about to say, if you get nipped,
we
put Lauren back on the market.
I love her, but if you can't whip me, your man is single. Like, nah.
No,
sorry, that was my Twitter line.
He can't whip me because he 120 pounds.
So you don't know if he got their hands.
Nip, don't shoot.
Oh, now you want to defend it? Okay, cool.
He might shoot us.
Last time that I checked.
First of all,
I don't believe a lot of rap niggas, but I believe Nip will shoot this whole fucking setup.
I don't.
You don't think so?
Because he's smart. No, you just said he's too smart for that.
I got something you can shoot at that.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Ain't this motherfucker set.
Sabrae.
Okay.
So, is Kanye West canceled?
Yes, hell yes. Bye, Kanye. Bye.
Here's the thing.
Bye, Kanye.
I'm Sabrae. Hold on. Is it Kanye? Aren't you related to him?
First of all,
that's Charlamagne.
I'm related to Charlamagne. That's my uncle.
Bye, Kanye.
No, but a quick guess just to fill out the room.
Okay.
Is Kanye canceled, Sean?
No.
Yatta say yes.
Hell yeah, he out.
Yeah. I say no. I say not yet.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because he had a freestyle that he posted the other day. I saw it on Facebook. Did you see that? Did you see that freestyle?
Yeah.
Well, he was talking about not being controlled by the white man.
Yeah.
So I was talking to somebody about this, and it's like, is Kanye really playing like a sick fucking joke on this? Because he's sitting there with this Make America Great hat again on, then rapping about not being mentally controlled by the white man or not being a slave to the white man. So I'm like, what is he pulling right now?
Are you trolling?
I don't know. But see, the thing is that picture that you're referring to, it had a white dude in there with the white power symbol. A lot of people don't know this is a white power symbol.
That's the John Leo Cohen.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Yeah.
And what is it? The alt-right dude, Richard Spencer himself, even explained that's a white power symbol. It's not a okay. It's not all that shit. They'll make you, they play dumb, and that's what they do.
They show you what that W is and that P.
They know what that shit is, and they try to make it seem, people, oh, it's just an okay symbol. Oh, that's just being jokes. No, that shit's not jokes.
So why you not canceled then if you just educated
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get, but stuff.
Right.
I just feel like the trolling that he's doing, whatever he's doing, whether it's strategic marketing, whether it's planned trolling, is still detrimental to the people out here who is in the trenches doing shit for the community. So I don't fuck with that. But the same niggas that would cancel Kanye fast as shit still watch the motherfucking NFL. And still, no offense, Yatta, still go to Starbucks. So I don't want to hear that shit like, no, I'm not, I wasn't.
People always say no offense.
No, because I wasn't trying to single out Yatta because, first of all, Yatta did go to Dunkin' Donuts instead of Starbucks. But I wasn't trying to single out her because it's still niggas in Starbucks.
No, so sometimes you got to single out people.
No, but I wasn't trying to do that.
The fuck up out of here. He is canceled.
No,
until we get to the bottom of this, he's canceled.
Like I said, it's just such a. I'm interested to see what spin this takes in the next.
I blame Kardashian.
It's just like what Sabrae said. Safe, he is trolling.
Right.
This is the strategy used to troll.
Exactly.
Like to me, he's a big enough artist. Like Beyonce, but 2 years ago, 3 years, I'm not a big Beyonce fan.
Right.
But like she dropped the album, nobody knew. Like the next day,
right.
It still did numbers.
Right.
He doesn't need
That's
a marketing strategy.
Right.
He's that big.
Right.
So he doesn't need any like ploys to do this.
People
I
was
also
just waiting
think
for
he
music.
may have mental issues. This is the thing.
He's in second place.
I've never been a person that's viewed celebrities as above or better than, you know what I'm saying? I've always viewed these dudes. And what I know about people, and like I said, and this is the thing about self-exploration. The more you learn about yourself, the more you realize how vulnerable other people can be once you start to show up areas in your own life. You like, God damn, I wonder, did this person do that work? So just because these people are successful don't mean they necessarily have it all together. So it's just like when B.O.B. and all them came out with that flat earth shit. You're like, hey, this motherfucker might be off a little bit.
Right, yeah.
But he rich. But he off.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the things that I noticed, though, about Kanye, one of the things that everybody was complaining about was the fact that he tweeted that Obama didn't do anything. He was like, basically, Obama didn't do anything for Chicago. And he might be clowning right now, but that wasn't a farce. That wasn't like an incorrect statement.
That shit
is right.
Yeah,
but
you got the same
presidents don't do stuff
and
for
you got
cities.
the same resources.
They should. You don't think a president should step in and handle Flint?
I think we...
No, so that's like somebody in Topeka, Kansas said, oh yeah, what did Obama do for us?
Well, let's be honest.
I mean,
you
all
can
that
really
killing,
say,
what can he really do about that killing in Chicago, though? To be honest, I feel like that was the reference.
Let me give you the flip side of that. When Chicago a couple months ago, when our current president Trump, he said something about, oh, we're gonna send tanks and all types of war stuff to Chicago.
He say a lot of shit though.
No, but the point I'm saying is,
did he?
Yes.
Did he do it?
No, that's not true.
He didn't do it. But,
He did say that.
No, I said no.
He didn't do it.
See, my point is, I don't want empty promises, so I'd rather you not say it if you're not actually going to do it, because that's just appeasing us with words.
I'll take you one further. He didn't do shit for black people.
He did.
But
so that's not a fight.
But our expectations of this office are a little bit high. Like I feel like because we had a black guy in office, we felt like he was just going to shoot in there and he was going to be radically black. When really the power is not in that office.
And that might be true. Right. But one thing that I can't, and I no way, in no shape or form support Trump at all or co-sign this nigga. But listen, the one thing I can respect that Trump did was he did what he had to do to please his base. He came in there. As soon as he came in there, executive order this, executive order that. Yep. We're going to try to do this. We're going to try to do that. But but instead, the Congress, of course, shot a lot of it down. But what did he do to even
he's an arrogant
But is it really trying if you know that shit's not going nowhere? That's just you. That's you. Don't, man, look, don't spit on my cup.
You shooting blanks, man. That's all you do.
Don't spit on my cupcake and tell me it's frosting, dog.
At least you try to please the people
but I don't feel like
voted for you.
If I know damn well this shit is not going to fly, all I'm doing is gassing you up on fumes because I'm telling you, oh yeah, well I tried. They shot me down.
I'd rather that than for you to totally ignore us and call us thugs.
Yeah, that creates the trust because if you going, it's like if you got a real estate agent and you're trying to go buy a house and you say I like this house, and this house, and I like him at this offer, and as the real estate agent, you're like, I know they ain't going to accept this motherfucking offer. But to appease my client,
let me try.
I'm gonna make these offers, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, they denied these," but you walk away with knowing, "Hey, when I got an offer, my agent
and that sounds good, but it's still bullshit under the surface, though. And that's the downside. Is like,
but you gotta understand, people are so simple. Remember, we always come back to this psychological thing. So if you're easily appeased, like you said, with his fan base out in the sticks in the woods in West Virginia and all that. He didn't have to identify with nothing but whiteness.
Yeah, he told them what they wanted to, and that's not. But I don't want to be. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be told what I want to hear just to get you where you need to go, and then it don't pan out. That's my thing. Is a moot attempt to try something that you know is not going to pan out is a waste of my fucking time. Right. To me, I mean, I get what you're saying, but for me, I feel like don't bullshit me.
I feel that, but it's like when you saying like he got in there, he can't do. Black people had these expectations or whatever, and I do think those expectations were false because we didn't put the money where our mouth was. Right. We just expected him to do so because he was black. Right. But you can't do that. But when you say that he did specific things for specific groups, because guess what? He's not the president of black people, but he's also not the president. Bless you. He's also not the president of gay people or Jewish people or Native American people. But he did specific things for them.
We saving Kanye and his bullshit because we just.
No. Kanye's a buffoon and a coon right now. Let's be
talk
clear.
about all the other things. Okay.
But I'm just saying,
opinion to Obama. Cool.
Yes,
but he didn't do shit for Chicago neither, and that's your city, and you got the same resources. So I really don't want to hear that either. Don't talk about what you plan on doing in the future, or I'm gonna try to put this together. But he got resources too, and he didn't do shit either.
Yes, but I'm just saying that, and that may be true. I don't know what Kanye did because I really didn't research what Kanye has ever done for Chicago, so I can't speak on it because I really didn't look that up. But I can say that just you may be a coon or whatever, but. You can still take the emotion, not you, but take the emotion out. Right. And that was a true statement that he made. But you can't, if you talk about, if you talk to your friend, you really shouldn't do X, Y, Z. Well, you did it. Well, what did you do? But it's like, are you going to address what was
Do you
said?
think Kanye's weak? Remember we talk about interracial marriages?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's
in a
weak,
second place.
But so I do think
how do you feel about his marriage to Kim Kardashian?
I feel like historically white women have been sent to black men to neutralize them. And he is neutral right now. He's very neutered and neutralized.
And I blame Kardashian pussy for that. I'm sorry. That shit is a curse. And let's just call it what it is. I said it. You ain't gonna do shit. Yes.
I'm giving responsibility to Kanye as well. Yes, every man that walks in don't walk out the same.
Had him a black woman when he got
He ain't been the same since his mother died. If we gonna all be hunted.
Honestly, no.
First of all, the nigga corny. He always been corny. You can tell. He was a
corny.
First of all,
he was nigga.
He was corny as fuck. See, Kanye was one of them niggas. Kanye was one of them niggas. Like you can tell before he got the money, like women wasn't talking to him.
He was a clown.
Like the way he was dressed and like all this. Jay-Z didn't even fuck with him. Like
that's most people who come in the game.
Yeah. So
athletes.
Yeah. But we talking about Kanye. We're not talking about athletes. You know what I'm saying? So now that he's got the platform, if you listen to what he's done before, like his interviews and shit like that, like musically, genius.
Gifted.
Top 5 producer.
Oh my God.
Like hands down, his music is like seriously like the impact that it's had, like it's life changing in some people. But as far as his personality, like how he moves, he's been a cornball. So I never put somebody, a celeb, on a pedestal high enough that I feel that they can never fall down from it.
Right.
I feel
you know what I mean? So like I can separate the two. Like anything else that he does, it doesn't bother me because he doesn't owe us anything.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not looking for that.
J. Cole been told us.
He did. False prophets.
He told us about
the wearing the two polos with the bootcut jeans with the Air Force Ones with the pop, like he was the Blazers. Oh, he's a cornball.
Yeah. Like a cornball that put out corny shit that everybody copies. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Copy half his shit samples.
What you mean? Oops. Oh, I'm talking about polos and all that.
Oh yeah, but the corny niggas, the cool niggas wasn't following that shit. The corny niggas. The niggas that was going to Love was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about even now. I'm talking about even now. The long t-shirts niggas was wearing, them wide ass loose collar
niggas in Baltimore been wearing long t-shirts.
But it's a lot of impressionable.
He's just a brand empire. It's like anything. It's like Gucci or Versace. If you come out Icky look hideous, he's already a brand. Like it's hard to say Kim Kardashian is smart. She just has a name. So like no matter what she comes out with, it's going to sell. Not because she's like this creative genius.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
that shit don't be on dicks. People be on dicks. That's what it is. She's a brand.
Kanye be walking around looking like a fucking hobo.
And so do a lot of niggas that copy him.
We're talking about Kanye.
They do.
Yeah,
it's a lot of impressionable people out here.
I blame the Kardashians. You know? I'm sorry.
Even though, but you can't say that it's only impressionable people. Literally, almost he's affected style. He's influenced style all over the place. You met people that may not be wearing Kanye stuff, but you're wearing Kanye influenced stuff because look, he creates it. The other bigger brands copy it, and we look at Kanye when he wear it first, like, what the fuck does this nigga got on? But the next year, we all wearing stuff that look like the shit that he had.
Copying Adidas and Nike. He came out with those Yeezys. Those was the fucking Roshis. But isn't that what? And I'm not a big fashionista, but doesn't like art just imitate art? Like
that's really what he said, though. He basically
said
like that's what people do. That they take what's already existing and they try to evolve it. He basically like, what the fuck is originality? And I just feel like, well, you're married to a Kardashian, so that explains all his fucking life because they're famous for stealing ideas from black women and making it their own. But they don't even fucking switch it up. They'll take the identical shit.
When I went to go buy SJ them shoes on Walmart,
right?
Yo, I said, oh, these are Boosts right here. These are Pumas. Like that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Because it's all about perception.
Because why would I make something if something is selling?
Right.
Why would I go make something else?
Right, don't read
I'm just gonna make a replica. It's a duplication.
It's to take it a step further. They got. I mean, even now when you look at the major stores, when they send you these brochures in the mail, you know they send them specific to your shopping habits. A lot of the time, they have these huge divisions that do this research about what you buy, how you buy. So they do the same thing. So Kanye, may be the face behind it, but what he's putting out is a heavily studied product that has been essentially proven to work in lab studies. It's just like they do the music. They have things that run music through to where you get a new song out, and the song specifically that was referenced in the book I was reading was "Hey Ya" by Outkast, and they put this song through the chart, and it was like, oh, "Hey Ya" is gonna blow based on tones, timing, tempo, the whole nine. People like this song.
I get what you. It's a formula. I get
it's a formula, and I think he's the same way.
Them Balmain, am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, Balmain.
You can say they came out them little motorcycle, then Zara did them, the H&M, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they were selling out like everywhere. That doesn't mean like they were like the creators of this, you know what I'm saying? They were still like gay little jeans that guys were wearing.
We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree on that. I do think he starts the wave that a lot of people follow. But I feel like, I mean, people can cancel Kanye, and I understand why, because what he's doing, that type of clooning is detrimental to the people who actually are on the front lines and doing this shit every fucking day. You can't, like I said last week, you can't forget the past in order to have a solution-based, if you want to have a solution-based outlook on things, that don't mean you have to forget what happened.
Right.
Because you are bound to repeat it. You have to still keep it into context. This happened to us by this group of people for this long, but we can still be like, okay, what's next? What's our next best move?
Right.
You know what it is?
You just got to understand it.
You know what it is? Kanye is he egotistical. And he's in his feelings because Obama called him an ass.
That's true.
And he ain't never going to let that shit go. So what he do the knee jerk.
That's true.
This president likes me. This president.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of that. Exactly. So. I feel like a lot of that is part of it. And that's what really is just like, my, you really willing to... Like you said, whether it's trolling or not, it's detrimental. It's dangerous.
It is.
And you're really willing to go to this extreme. If you are trolling, that's even worse than if you was legit, because it's like, what the fuck for?
If Obama wasn't doing shit, why the fuck he was up there taking all them pictures with him and all that shit? Like, if you're not happy with the president doing, you why you rubbing shoulders with him? Like, back to the corny shit. Like, did you go to the Life of Pablo concert?
Yes, I did.
when he had that rant talking about Jay-Z, how they kids never be playing together and shit like that, that's corny shit. And me and Jameel having like a spat, and this is supposed to be my brother, because you know he made that little standing song for him. My big brother was always brother or whatever. Right. I'm not going to put that. Jameel gonna hit me like, why the fuck this nigga putting up?
But you know, I also didn't know he had a pill problem too, and I'm not making excuses because that was some Bama shit. And then when you have mental illness, pill issues, and all of that stuff, you're extra paranoid. Don't tell your shooters to come get me. That's irrational thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, and my uncle said that earlier this week too. That is. What?
That was the most vicious, swift eye roll I ever seen in my life.
What's the difference between Kanye and any other clown nigga on Twitter?
Because celebs get that pass about that mental illness shit.
When
I'm having issues going on, if I say I have a mental illness, all of a sudden, it's plenty of other people who got mental illness.
It is a lot of people who have mental illness. He's not the only one.
But why he get a pass? I'm
not giving that nigga a pass. He's cool. I'm just not canceling him yet.
He just got a platform.
So what would he have to do for you to cancel him?
I don't know. I just haven't quite canceled him yet, because I'm not going to be quicker to cancel a black man than I was to cancel the NFL or any other thing.
She canceled me for Starbucks. I don't want to hear it.
They was quick to cancel Cosby.
Because you got me the fuck up out of here for Starbucks. So all I'm saying, y'all ain't know
shit out Cosby over the past couple days.
Like, no. I got suspended for the Starbucks infraction. So I feel like, fuck that nigga Kanye ass is out of by Kanye. You can go, honestly.
We're going to resume this Kanye conversation at a later date when we have more information. When the album come out, I want to see. Even though it might be a Jedi,
surprise us, nigga.
It might be a Jedi mantra. Who knows? But even still, I don't give a fuck if it's a ploy to do something greater. What you're doing right now is damaging, and I do not fuck with it at all.
Right.
You know?
Come out with late registration too, nigga.
Yeah,
I forget.
Right.
Pre-registration and shit. Where's pre-registration?
Still, speaking of Cosby though, do y'all feel bad for Cosby because he got 30 years?
Cosby look like he's having the time of his fucking life to me.
Because I'm not that.
They gave him 30 years.
They gave him life.
That lick was real.
He pretty much got life.
Like I'm just.
I think it's bullshit.
Absolutely. I was looking for the eloquent way to say that, but
it's bullshit. And you know what's bigger bullshit than just what happened? It's bigger bullshit that I see more black people celebrate Cosby going down. Fuck Bill Cosby. Fuck it. This man did more for black people than I guarantee any other celebrity in his prime. And it's like, you want to tell me that there's some white women came forward.
And one of them was questionably a man.
From 30 years ago. Now, we know white women's history in falsely accusing black men.
Right.
We've got no physical evidence. This is a man who's been a positive role model. I know for me, because I grew up on the Cosby. That's our generation.
But Cosby was a coon, I will say, just like OJ, but I don't think that...
He was a coon?
What? Oh, just pull your pants up and you won't get profiled? That type of shit?
Like,
that was some cool shit.
Let me tell
pull
you.
Your pants.
Hold on. That's like I was saying earlier about society. Hey, pull your fucking pants up.
Yeah, pull your pants up, but guess what? Niggas was getting lynched in suits in the 60s.
True. But look at the game.
You're contradicting what you just said about the police pulling over.
That's not true.
No, because you're saying like, okay... I'm sorry. See, I told y'all that's my upbringing.
Go ahead. No, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
No, but we was talking about like conforming. Yes. But we talking about the police. I was saying whether you're polite or anything, you can still get shot with y'all. You're basically saying, well, it's niggas wearing suits. Isn't that a preventative
measure? Yes, I do agree that you should pull your fucking pants up, but don't justify that as to why people are getting profiled. Because even though now you have to comply regardless if you're right or wrong, it's not right. It's not fair. It's not just.
But it is
with the part
of it, though.
I don't want to see nobody, no male's ass. I think that's unattractive, and you should carry yourself with some type of dignity, and you're not looking like a dusty nigga.
Right.
However, you don't deserve to die for that.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying. That's facts on facts. But the reality is that's part of it. That doesn't help the circumstance for you to walk around with your pants, your ass hanging out. So I get where, and you gotta think he old school. But so I get where he coming from and saying, pull your damn pants up. The old heads been saying that for years.
But it put in the context of his career and his influence and stuff. He talked down on comedians who cursed and stuff like that. So he was always a self-righteous, I'm a good nigga type of nigga. I do think that was cooning, and you can't justify, because the way he said it was like, oh yeah, if you don't put your pants up, then you won't get stopped.
Well, you know how many it's a generational thing more than anything.
know how many kids he sent
the time that he come from.
A lot of kids.
I mean, you can do
a lot.
You can do good things as a cool.
I look at it like this: we just
cool.
talked about the game, right? So any city in America, on average, I can tell you, the crime report for the somebody who committed a crime. What is it? Black male, hoodie. Long. So I feel them on that because when are we gonna get to the point where we say, okay, you know what? If they police in our communities like this, let's get the fuck off the corner.
No, I feel
if
you.
They're looking at us. If the average description of a criminal is a black man with a hoodie on, then because remember we're at war. So what do you do? I get it. You got a spy that goes and you got a U.S. spy that goes into Germany. They're not going to walk in there looking like a U.S. citizen.
But my beef is that don't use that to justify. Say, first of all, you don't need to be dressing like that. You look like a certain thing, but you can still clarify. That doesn't mean that they have the right automatically to incriminate you.
But I don't feel like he was justifying it. I feel like he just wanted you to know, stop, pull your fucking pants up.
But you got to hit the context.
No, the context is bad, but to call him a coon, you know how many people, like, as far as, like, Spelman, Morehouse, Temple, like
okay, but look, Roland Martin, he did a lot for black people. He educates black people. He told Wendy, that was one of the best situations on Wendy Williams when he explained to her about some coonish shit that she said. He can do good things, but he also was tap dancing for Hillary Clinton on stage. Right. So you're a coon.
But we doing the same thing that white people do to us because, like, first of all, fuck Cosby. I don't really care for him.
Right.
Either, like, I don't know if the time was... I hate... Like I said, it's tricky, especially when men are talking about women. You know what I'm saying? Right. Look, nigga, you lost, okay? But what I will say is, like, it's like a relationship. Like, when you think of how... We always talk about what people do for the community. Now, we're talking about one of the most prominent figures. Like, he did so... Now, we can definitely go, and it's well documented, everything that he's done. So just to throw him under the bus?
That's not throwing him under the bus. If Stacey Dash pays for a lot of people to go to black people to go to HBCUs, she's still a coon, but that was something good that she did.
But she goes out of her way to speak. I feel like that's your
interpretation of what he said. I don't really feel like he a coon, though.
Well, maybe he was cooning. I just feel like he's a coon.
I feel like that was a valid statement to make, to be honest. We have to stop perpetuating the same stereotypes that put us in these trick bags.
You say on one hand, you say, okay, well, that shouldn't justify a person killing because you got your pants down. That shouldn't justify a person. But the thing we need to realize is it does. In white people's mind, it does justify you looking like this justifies me killing you because look.
Because the last nigga I pulled up on.
So say I'm a white male and I'm a cop and I'm from Idaho and I went and came to D.C. to join the Metropolitan Police Force. When I look on YouTube and see black people with their pants down, what do I see? I see guns.
Yeah. But that's the thing that you're missing. It's the skin, period. You could be the well-dressed, going into Starbucks, going to sit down, and be waiting on your person, the real estate guy, or whatever. And you can still be, it's your skin tone.
So don't be extra by walking around with your pants down.
I agree that you shouldn't do that, but the way he was saying it was justifying. That's what my beef was.
But they're basically saying, like, old people just talk different.
Yeah, I feel like that's an old head situation because your grandparents will tell you that same shit.
Paul Mooney was an old head.
Y'all wasn't walking around like that. But everybody not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be a uniform.
Paul Mooney. Now he definitely not a coon. He definitely said some wild fucking shit.
Right?
I
don't know. Maybe I just don't take offense in that because I feel like it's a valid point. First of all, but I know also that's just what you getting from these seniors.
My grandma
that's how they talk.
But you gotta see how serious they are about it because you gotta realize Cosby came up in a generation where, of course, they did see people get beat brutally in the street. Kind of what we're seeing today times 10. So they saying, well, look, nigga, we had suits on and shit. So you young motherfuckers need to chill out, walking around like this.
With the suits, what the hell make you think they're gonna get you with the sagging pants?
I'm a firm believer in, and like I said, I think at this point in our racial history and our existence in the U.S., we need to start taking responsibilities for our actions. We as black people do a lot of bullshit to get us targeted, and we don't like to talk about that. We like to focus, this officer didn't get this officer. Like, here's the thing, and I feel when I ride through a neighborhood and I see 70 niggas out front of one house, go to work. Like, I'm turning into that person. Because I'm so sick of being because why do you keep giving them the ammo to do this to you?
I agree with that.
My son go to Anacostia, right?
Right.
D.C. Prep. So it's on V Street. Every morning when I take him to school, I'm like, why are all these people outside at 7:30? They're not going to work at the bus stop. They just out there. And I'm like, yo, this is at least once a week when I pick them up, somebody's getting locked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck y'all just out?
Y'all ain't learned the lesson.
First of all, you're not even working, so why you up at 7:30?
I agree. No, I 100% agree.
Weird.
I agree with that. And a lot of times those people do get targeted, but the majority of us are going to work. The majority of us are doing the right thing, and it's just skin tone that makes you the threat. Majority of black people,
That's what I was trying to say earlier, though.
But you know what, though?
I get it, but
it's panned out for them so many times where they've caught niggas that fit that description doing some shit they hadn't been doing, that it justifies it to them. And it's like Jameel said, you have to look at it from their perspective.
So if you Trayvon Martin and it's raining outside, you just supposed to wear that doesn't justify a white boy t-shirt?
That doesn't I'm not saying that because my thing is realistically, maybe not a hoodie, but my thing is if every time I come through here, it's a nigga that look just like you that I keep hemming up and catching with this and this, that's what they're gonna go by. So why perpetuate it? Why is your ass out? Put your ass up.
I agree with that.
I tell you this.
Because in jail, that shit is gay.
Look, this weekend, I went to the Apple store to get my Mac Mini fixed, right? And this is a perfect segue.
Rich nigga shit.
That was fun. So get my Mac Mini fixed, right? It was still under warranty. I didn't have to put
I got a deal. I don't got a Mac.
So I was sitting across from the table. It was a white lady helping me. It was a black dude helping a brother across from me. And you know, we both was getting our things fixed. We having this positive conversation. Wow, and this group of that was terrible. Sorry. All right. That was bad. Go ahead. All right, rewind. So we we talking, it's this big positive interaction, it's a real nice vibe. And these young dudes come in there. Young black dudes.
Oh my God.
Probably fresh off the metro. I know they took the metro up there.
He told me this shit.
Might be from the south side. I don't know. I'm just going by what I see.
Blue Line. You was at the Apple store in Pentagon? Oh, yeah, Blue Line, Addison Road, Capitol Heights.
So they walk right up to the Mac and they type in something. I'm not going to say what. I know it was a local artist, but it was some pure, ridiculous trap shit, right? Yeah. And they start filming each other, and they doing all the little dances, in the Apple store right above. So then one of the dudes come by and he leans over the worker's shoulder that's working across from me. He like, "Hey Mo, you gonna use that chair, Mo?" And the chair is under him. He like, "Nah, bro, go ahead." You know what I'm saying? So he takes the chair, and it's like 7, 8 of these little niggas, and ranging from like 12. The youngest one had to be like 12, 13. Probably up to, I think the ringleader might have been like 16. You know what I'm saying? One person was in there to get their Mac Mini fixed. But I mean, they on the grind. We looking sweet, son. Like they doing the little leg with the little dance from the Drake video. We looking sweet, son. In the middle of the fucking Apple store during normal business hours. My appointment was at 10:25 in the morning, son.
Wow.
Yeah.
10:25 in the morning.
Why they not even in school?
Now this is where I had this internal battle. Oh. Because inside, I'm like, somebody need to call the police on these niggas. But no, real shit. Because that's fucking embarrassing.
So, but why that and not the manager needs to come and ask them to
Because
leave?
they were beyond that, because I don't feel like these are dumb kids.
Right.
And I think as long as we continue to give excuses like, oh, they kids, them people don't see you as kids. So if you at war with another country and that country see your kids as grown men and they're willing to kill your kids in the street, you will arm your kids with the knowledge that, hey, these motherfuckers see you at 12 as a 21-year-old man, so you need to kind of operate a little different. So I don't believe that these kids are dumb. I think they came in there with one thing on their mind. They wanted to look sweet and play their little music or something. So, of course, these white people called the police.
It's like being on a green line.
Yeah, but I was disturbed. So I know she was probably petrified. Yeah. And I wasn't disturbed in the sense that really I wanted him to call the police. I was disturbed in the sense that I wanted to grab these little niggas.
Did you go say something to him, though?
I didn't get a chance to because I was getting my Mac Mini worked on. That was the most important thing to me.
But we have, hold on.
But we do have to be in that position.
Because since we are at war,
right,
they might not have uncles,
right,
or dads,
right, to tell them
you gotta go over there. You gotta make that. And I know it's not your priority, but it is your priority.
It should
I agree with that.
Like, come on, man. Like,
but it happened so quick. Like literally, I felt like they gave him the silent button. They had to hit the silent button because in Pentagon, it's more security. It's sheriff's there all the time. They came right up there.
Do you give I can see 18 or not, but you said a 12-year-old.
They was ages 12 to like 18, but then in the other side of my mind is it's also 12, 13-year-olds here killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're right.
Point blank. So you may pull this young brother to the side and say, man, look, Slim, I've been down this road already. Let me tell you what happened. And he's, man, nigga, fuck you.
Then that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Try. It's better to It's better to try and fail than fail to try.
That's true.
I just feel like, I can't blame you. You just get, after a while, and don't get me wrong, because it's not a justification for any of the shit that happens to us. Mm-hmm. But you realize it gets to the point where the lines get blurred, where it's like, look, they have all these stereotypical images of us. And then you see motherfuckers giving them just that. And you wonder why, and it's not to justify, but you wonder why this type of shit happen. You're not helping.
But it's always
But some of it's a part of our culture. Like when I see youngers beating their feet on the subway, I'm like, this shit wild. But I'm like...
that's a culture. But then you also, when you're on the subway...
It's still public. You come home happy.
You see a group of teenage girls get on there and it says, "Oh, y'all mad fucking bitches, it's all da da da," and you just like, Lord sis, come on, bro, what you doing?
And you deserve to get hemmed up, but you don't deserve to be harmed by somebody if you're not putting harm on somebody else. And so that's the thing, and a lot of us are products of the environment that have been placed on us by the system of white supremacy. Right. So we need to learn how to value our youth, ignorant or not, a lot more, because guess what? These other groups, they're like, hold on, but that's let y'all, hold on. Let me talk to him first. Okay, he out of hand or she's out of hand. Mm-hmm. All right, then we'll handle that accordingly. But we kind of sometimes take on the mindset of the white supremacists. If they ghetto, throw them away. If they dusty, throw them away.
No, I ain't sold on that. I just feel like at some point, parent your kids or do something, because I feel like a lot of them will get out of pocket. You try to pull them side on some older mentor type nigga, and they pop on you. Next thing you know, I whoop your kid ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person.
I get it.
They might come from broken homes. Like you
don't know.
No, you do, but it's...
I've pulled a couple kids to the side, and I used to coach football. I coached football for about 7 to 8 years, and I had a kid. His name was Miles, I think. Shout out Miles. I hope you're doing well.
I hope your name is actually Miles.
I think it's. I'm pretty sure
Miles, you're doing well.
I'm pretty sure
that's the name of the application.
And why?
I want to hire Miles.
Miles.
But me and Miles on the football field one day, we had it out. You know what I'm saying? And I had to put him to the side. Like, who do you think I am? You think I'm one of your peers? You know what I'm saying? I had to let him know. Like, I got a son your age on this team. You know what I'm saying? And he had both his mother and father at home. But he was dealing with something, you know what I'm saying? Something that he didn't want to talk about, and eventually we ended up getting through it. But that was one of the reasons I coached football. It wasn't because of my love for football. It was because I wanted to really reach out to dudes that I feel like, because even ones that got a father at home, that doesn't guarantee that dude is
a good father
or mother on to the right game or mother. Yeah. Oh, look,
let's click. Yeah,
we do have to make sure that and that stuff happens. I do know, I do experience that type of shit does happen. These youngins be wild sometimes. Yeah. But 100%, I just don't. That whole thing doesn't sit well with me. Should you pull your pants up? Yes. Should you be loud and belligerent? No. Like, you should not do that. Right. However, we have to make sure we draw the line in the sand when it comes to the system. Like, just because they do that, what that mean? You're not about to harm them. You know what I mean?
But they are, though. That's the fucked up part, is that they're doing it. So.
But we also let them. We don't care. We let our youth as a whole, deal with a lot of shit that we don't say nothing about. We don't do nothing about it. Those kids were adopted. Those black kids were adopted by that white lesbian couple. Ran over, were abusing them, starving them, and all of that. Our kids are not protected. Right. They're just not just like our women. We're not protected.
Cool question, Jameel, Yatta, because we got kind of off topic. Do y'all think Bill should have got time, or he shouldn't have got that much time?
I feel like this is my thing. I feel like they dug up 30-year-old bones on this man for the purpose that served them for what they wanted to do with him. Because you got white motherfuckers that's raping bitches yesterday. Yeah. And they're telling the judge, hey, look, he's too rich to go to jail. Right. It'll ruin his future. Yeah. But you don't care about the girl he raped future. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like if we're gonna go by this, to be honest, I feel like realistically, it's all strategy. That's the design, like you just said. And white women put in place to neutralize these black men. I feel like they're gonna find whoever they can, offer a little bread to say what you need them to say. I feel like, honestly, it doesn't justify what happened. Do I feel like he probably did some stuff? But I feel like it was a sign of the times. Right. Everybody was high off their ass in the 70s. Let's just be honest. All these motherfuckers was doing coke. You going to these Hollywood parties, there's coke on the table, it's lewds and both. Everybody's popping. I feel like shit didn't pan out the way bitches wanted it to pan out, so now you want to cry foul. I don't like that you can wait 30 years and decide you feel assaulted. Yeah. That's wild as shit to me.
You know what I think? I think like so you got Bill Cosby, and you look at Bill Cosby's track record. In terms of the black community, because this is what we want to compare that. What has he done for the black community? He's done a lot more than your average celebrity times 10. So now look at this. I'm sure Rick James drugged a lot of bitches.
He did, ain't he?
But you expect that from Rick James.
Did, but did Rick James ever face any kind of litigation?
No, because you almost expect it from him.
What Rick James do for the black community?
I don't know. I didn't research. I didn't.
A lot of us don't. Right.
Okay.
Right. So my point is, you look at how they attack our people.
Yeah.
Bill, while he might have been in the mix, and I do believe, like I said, I do believe a lot of these women it was a consensual thing. But when you go back to a white woman who probably hates niggas anyway, who didn't get a ring, didn't get a baby by Bill, just got hit and drugged
didn't
up.
get no money or no roles or nothing.
If she was with it or not, the ability and the flexibility that she has within the legal system to say, oh, he forced this on me. 30 years down the line, I got to look at that from an angle, and then I got to look at Bill, and I got to look at his mood and all that. Everybody like, oh, Bill tripping,
these cases,
Bill tripping.
the three accusers were from recent years. They weren't.
They said the last 16 years or some shit like that.
But why do you think they're just talking to him now when now he's kind of like on the downside? Why weren't if they were trying to bring him down? Why weren't they when he was like in his prime?
Because somebody said it. So somebody said it. I'm telling you, somebody said this recently. They brought it up. They said that one of the actors or comedians said, no, none of the black ones make it out clean, and that's because that they can stop from passing down generational wealth. They about to go at Cosby's pockets like shit.
Right.
You know,
try to freeze up all his money.
Exactly. And my thing is, even if he did one, he deserves to get punished for that. You know, I don't think he did all those women, but I think he did one or some or something. He did something. So you deserve to be punished. But what about Kevin Spacey? What about, you know,
when is Weinstein's trial date?
Weinstein and all that stuff.
Is he in the country?
Weinstein in the country.
Because it's a right. Because I think that wasn't justice. That was definitely race involved.
Right.
Because he got the time and these other people didn't. My thing is, if you're going to do hard justice, I'm cool with that. If you're gonna profile people, I'm cool on profiling. We taught in school what doesn't belong. But just like we profile black people, profile other groups the same way. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna do hard justice on black people, do hard justice on everybody.
Where's Weinstein's sentencing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why you going smack at Cosby? It's all strategy though.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's all strategic from when they first initially started hearing about these allegations. Every time he want to do something big, you want to buy NBC. Oh well, no, that's dead. And that's what it boils down to is that you want to break down who we consider to be our iconic good black figures that we have. Because like you said, Cosby's done a whole lot for the black community, sending kids to college. I feel like he's been that image.
Right.
So it's like, okay, with a Rick James. Oh no, if Rick James had wild and drugs, you're not going to hear nothing because you would expect that from him. Because he out here talking about super freaky, climbing on couches and shit. You know, but when it comes to Bill, that's too wholesome of an image. We're not going to get him that. No, we gotta dust this on up. 30-year-old, even 16-year-old, that's some old ass allegations.
You deserve, like I said, you deserve to be punished for anything you do. Anytime you rape somebody, whether it's 80 years or whatever.
When you talk about them Hollywood parties, I think a lot of the times when I see and I hear the stories about these Hollywood parties, I think as a person, as a young woman, going to one of these parties,
they know what it was.
Like,
even at Berkeley City, I was with one of my friends, and one of his friends was play basketball or whatever. He will remain nameless. He's known in the area. I won't say his name because we're going to have him on the show one day. But anyway.
I mean, when you just say name.
It's only a couple. It's only a couple.
No, y'all don't know him though. But he's known in this area, whatever. But anyway, we just seen groups of women around him. We were around the whole time. And at first I didn't notice, but then after a while.
You mean like how around
so they be extra thirsty. So I kind of feel bad for some of these guys. You shouldn't take advantage of women, period. But they get a lot, like, damn, like, it's crazy. They just linger around. And at first I was like, hey, do y'all know them? Because I was curious. Because we move over here, they there. We move over there, they there. So I was like, y'all know them? And it was like,
no. I just feel like you can't revoke consent after you already been fucked, though. I'm sorry. I just feel like you can't revoke consent after you already got hit. I feel like that is what it is. You ain't get what you felt like you was going to get out of it. Yeah, it sucks. It happens. You know, but I feel like all this after the fact, I feel it's like the bitch who made allegations against Aziz Ansari. Like, sweetie, you got this man you got this man in the neck 2 times. Now you're like, well, he should have read mine.
Is there a certain time where we should believe women, or then times that we shouldn't? Like, why is it like? I feel like it's different. Like, for example, when the broad said Usher gave her herpes, right? Mm-hmm. She was an attractive, everybody's like, this bitch lying like shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then I get on some hand and be like, oh, well. If a woman said it, y'all shouldn't need proof. Y'all shouldn't need receipts. Like, where is, like, the consistency with that?
people should treat every individual case individually. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that you should automatically believe the man or automatically believe the woman. Everything is specific to the specific case. Right. And I think that's the only way that we'll be able to have justice when it comes to sexual assault and rape and all that stuff.
Stop looking for blanket situations, because it's not going to happen like that. It's not going to be one circumstance that is all encompassing. So for a situation like this, I just feel like that was the times for one. And I feel like a lot of times we as women, we don't get me wrong, because like I said, you shouldn't be assaulting women, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Yes, consent, I'm all for it all day. But I feel like we as women, come on, dog. You put yourself in these situations, you know what you're there for, and when you don't get what you want, you cry foul. And I don't fuck with that, because what it does is it causes problems for the women who are genuinely getting assaulted by men. They don't want to come forward, because now you come out with some shit like that, you getting scrutinized. The reason why I'm not sold is because why the fuck did it take you 30 years, 15, 16 years to decide that you got assaulted? You assault me, nigga, I'm at the fucking precinct today.
But I get where you saying, where you coming from, but go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying that a lot of women aren't that bold or that confident to do that, and I understand it. In some circumstances, it may take them a while, especially when you got people that's like, "Have you ever slept with Cosby? Have you ever slept with this person? Come on down. We gotta just like if you've been hitting the car because of that call, this you know what I'm saying? They advertising like that. Let's get this bag. You know what I'm saying? So I do know that exists, but treat everything individually. Every woman I feel like has slept with somebody or a couple people that they be like, why the fuck I let that nigga hit? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna.
How the fuck did I get that nigga now?
I don't know about all
that. But no, there are some people that I've been with. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? But I'm not gonna be like, well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't want to sleep with him anymore. I didn't want to sleep with him. Now that I'm 50, so I'm gonna unfuck him and say I was assaulted. No, because I didn't give him any cues or tell him no. So you can't cry foul after that.
Do y'all think if it's a time has elapsed like that, kind of like what's the word I want to use?
There are statutes of limitations.
Yeah, but apparently not in Pennsylvania, and that's why he got tried where he got tried at.
So and they know where all the loopholes at. So Sabrae, how do y'all feel about the Nas and Khalees? Her coming out after they've been divorced for about 8 years, 9 years.
Maybe she's trying to up that child support. I don't know.
It could be a number of things, or she could genuinely just be like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. Because she get a lot. Don't get me wrong, she gets a lot of backlash because of the image that we have for Nas. So it's like, damn, you just always dragging this nigga in the court, you this, you that, or whatever. Maybe she got fed up, kind of like how Chris Brown did. And nigga never really spoke on that situation between him and Reed. It happened. He got dragged through the mud a million times. He never said nothing. And all of a sudden, you pop up, you do your little side, and it's like, okay. Right. He gives a little bit of perspective, not a justification, but a little bit more perspective. Yeah. So that might be what it is. She could be after a check. I don't know. I feel like that's the natural assumption because she's been painted to be this money hungry person. So automatically, the first thing you see is, she's trying to get a check. But at the same time, what she's saying, if that's the case, it put a whole lot of shit into perspective. If he was piecing
I found the word. Does it discredit the woman's allegation more? If there's a certain amount of that was an easy word. It wasn't even like an SAT word. I just couldn't oppose if someone comes out 3 months or 10 years.
It shouldn't always,
but it kind of does.
Because they're like, okay, my nigga, like, what do you got a book coming out or what? Like, let me know what your next move is.
What kept you quiet for all this time? Like, it makes it suspect.
We should support them, but still look like, okay, what they, what do they got coming up?
Because I always hear, women. It's hard to come out, especially if it's a mental led, because the women don't come out to later because it may hurt their career or what they say. Who was it? Ashanti? What the fuck was it? I don't know. It was something that she said when she was dealing with a producer and then they was trying to fuck. Then all of a sudden the beat went up like $40,000. They went,
because I think it's you see what those games are or those rules are in the game, and you make a choice. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some artists, I feel like there's some very talented and creative people we'll never hear from because they made a choice that they were going to choose themselves over what the industry required. Yeah. So I think when you jump in that industry, and it's just like I said, I was having a conversation with somebody and they was like, well, if somebody was on a boat party and it was all NFL players, but it's a history of NFL players doing this, and that, and I was like, well, I think you'd be a dumbass for going on that boat party. Right. And I think like if something happened, if something
R.Kelly's next, by the way.
Well, and if something happens to you on that, I'm not saying it's right.
R.Kelly.
But I'm saying you may have failed yourself in judgment at some level, knowing that normally on these type of parties, there are men looking for sex, looking to pay for it.
It's responsibility on
and you get invited and you like, oh girl, it's not gonna happen to us. No, stay the fuck away from these niggas.
And that's what I will say, Sean. That's what I will say too to that as well. People take away the responsibility on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, because not to walk down certain streets. People, what you mean? Like people? What you mean?
Women.
Mostly women.
I was asking.
Which part?
Because like
mostly women take away that.
Not all women, but I know women like no matter what the fuck you do, like no matter what I wear outside.
No, it's on them.
It's on the man. I can
that's
talk what I want.
It's eliminating accountability.
Exactly.
Because what they want to do is say, well, you make it seem like men are oversexed and they sexualize everything, but you came out wearing what you had on because you wanted to look sexy.
It didn't
Why are your nipples out? Because you want to look sexy.
I seen somebody with their nipples out at Broccoli City yesterday.
We didn't need to see, and that shit was traumatizing.
But you know what? I looked away completely. I was like, oh, no.
Because that's a level of thirst.
Because whatever you're looking for, I'm not about to give it to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. You want something. When you come out like that, you got your clear plastic skirt on, and you got a thong on, and your ass cheeks is hanging out. Mm-hmm. You out there. You're giving what you want.
Sean.
They was kind of
shut your ass up. Nah, seriously. You know what you're doing when you do that. And then when you get it, it's like, oh, y'all niggas are thirsty. I feel like you the thirsty one, sweetie, because
you got to have responsibility on both ends. You know not to go into a bad neighborhood with expensive jewelry and
or 10 grand in your hand.
We understand that as men, though.
And that's the thing is that's why I understand. Like when some women say I can do this or whatever, and what you know you're not going to go around the farms at 3:00 at night.
So that's what I'm saying.
Racks, you can be like, why did I get robbed?
That didn't justify people stealing your money, but there's responsibility.
But the first thing people want to say, they're not going to say, oh, he shouldn't have got robbed. They're going to say, why the fuck was he trying to do that?
Nigga asked me to go to the Black Hole one time.
Keep that same energy.
It was nobody from my hood. It wasn't my hood friends. It was my high school friends.
Oh no!
And they was like, let's go to the Black Hole. And I was like, how many of y'all is it? And it was like, it'll be 4 with you.
No, thank you.
And I was like,
that's not
y'all
enough.
niggas tripping.
That's not enough.
Then it was like 5. So these niggas went, and I didn't go, of course, because I'm not no sucker. Right. But I'm smart enough to not put myself in bad situations.
Because I don't know if y'all niggas
So the story comes back that one of my mans, who shall remain nameless, I'm not going to put you out there.
Gotcha.
Walked through the wrong section in the Black Hole. And he walked by very briskly on the other side. And my other man said, I seen a nigga walking by, and he hit me with one of these and kept walking. And he walked behind it. It was a whole neighborhood of niggas because he walked through the wrong section. Why? We from Maryland, my nigga. The Black Hole is all the way uptown, and 640 is right on the other side of it. That's their club, as far as I'm concerned. That's 640 club. Yeah, we're visitors. So why you a Maryland nigga are going to go up there 4 deep in the heart of the city and think that it's just gonna be sweet,
right?
And I think that same mindset goes to a lot of these situations that women put themselves in. And we're not telling you you're wrong for this happening to you. We're telling you think a little bit more before.
It's never gonna not exist. That's the thing. It's never gonna not exist. So if you know that, you got to learn how to work within that. Like, if I know, yes, niggas shouldn't rape, but guess what? Niggas do.
They do.
You, for whatever reason, they rape. So what I'm going to do is put myself in the best position to not have to deal with that. And don't get me wrong, because it doesn't, what you're wearing doesn't justify you getting raped, but it happens, dog. And if I'm not, my thing is, if I can't wear a McDonald's uniform and then get mad when I hit the streets and niggas like, what's up with the McChickens? Motherfucker, I'm giving.
They be the same people.
Like I work for McDonald's.
Right, you know, I look like I fucking work at McDonald's. Yes.
They'll be the same people who lock their cars, who have an alarm system in their home, because you're going to prevent things. Wear a seatbelt.
If you're not a hoe, don't wear the uniform, and then be surprised when people think that that's what you are. They could be wrong. You could just be feeling yourself. But my thing is, if they see that, that's what you giving. That's the vibe you giving out.
You get what you give.
Yeah, exactly. I like to wonder personally.
Yeah,
right.
I like to see a full fit and be like, damn, I wonder what that thing is.
No, I like to see it because I ain't trying to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to see it.
Now, if you don't want to get wifed up, I mean, advertise for what you want. If you don't really want to be, then that's cool.
But she be able to have my nipples. All right,
good luck with that.
Then come out with your ass out, and you're going to get a trail of niggas following you around all
you going to call them thirsty.
No panties with the body count.
Right. But don't try to be nobody. Don't try to be wifed up then.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised. That's what you're getting. That's what you're advertising.
You know what I love the most? When they tie the jacket over their ass, that's when I know they.
Because you don't,
That's not necessarily true because I do that.
Well,
I do it. But
you know what? We're gonna end on that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching the Sabrae Show live. Make sure you share.
I hate you. Yes, don't be stingy. Share it with your friends. These niggas are honestly cut.
But your walk. You create like a Doctor Strange for you know.
I got a fat walk.
Fat walk.
What are you saying? You fucking blow me.
Doctor Strange.
I walk like Doctor Strange?
No, it's fine.